One of the new facets of game day at NRG Stadium, the new entrance, the new tunnel to run out of.
Nice.
Yeah, very cool. NRG Stadium in Houston, where the Bucs and Texans get set to go, and we welcome in the third member of our crew who is not in that tunnel, but he's near it, Jerod.
Yeah, you know, another new thing the Texans want to do this year is get those turnovers. We've covered it at length in the first two broadcasts. We'll do it again tonight. But one component of that is getting to the passer. You know, Jacob Martin, after a strip sack last week, said it's like a competition trying to get to the QB. And a name to watch, a number to watch is 97. Malik Collins is not going to get a bunch of stats necessarily, but he might be one of the most important members of that defensive front. He's been disruptive. He's gotten to the quarterback and caused a lot of problems. And in camp, throughout practices, every day afterwards, you can see a new member of the defensive line working with him, doing extra handwork, extra footwork, and trying to glean some knowledge from the sixth-year vet. Malik Collins going to be a key piece of this front, guys.
And a frustrating year last year with the Raiders for Malik Collins on the COVID list, had a hamstring injury. First time in his career, he didn't have a sack. So those 14.5 sacks were accumulated in 4 seasons of play. Didn't have one last year.
I think he's prime example of the competition context that's really been created with this team. Nick Caserio doing a fantastic job of the 30-plus guys that he signed to one-year contract. This guy, in my opinion, has been the most impressive. I think Drew hit it right on the head. Of all the players, particularly the defensive line, he is the one that stood out.
Our first half kickoff presented by Xfinity, proud partner of the Houston Texans. You saw who was kicking off. It was Justin Reed who kicked off and did a pretty good job.
Wow,
and then coverage
nice.
downfield, out of bounds at the 16-yard line in the arms of Terrence Mitchell is Jalen Darden. And here comes a man who is entering his 22nd year in the National Football League. 7 Super Bowl wins, 3 MVPs, 14 Pro Bowls, 230 wins, number 1 all-time in touchdown passes. He will become the number 1 yardage quarterback this season. He's number 2 right now behind Drew Brees. He will pass the now retired Brees. Tom Brady and the defending Super Bowl champs going to work as Rob Gronkowski gets set along that line. Now he'll go in motion. On first down, we've got movement up front. And all that shifting and moving got somebody to flinch along the Bucs offensive line.
Yeah, Malik Collins was one of those guys that was active up front.
1 offense, 5-yard penalty, first down.
It's Antonio Brown, the veteran wide receiver.
Malik influencing the activity up front. They watch film do the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. When they see guys who can play that under tackle position inside, either shaded up or off the guard where they can get those individual matchups, a guy like Malik has been disruptive. And believe me, they've got their eyeball on him. Number 97 is special.
Ronald Jones, the running back for Tampa, on first down and 15. It's Jones who gets the carry, and he runs right into the hands of Karu Hill.
You talk about run fits, that's how you do it. Each one reaches one. It's about going to that spot and then finding it and flowing. Here you see him coming, diving right in there. Just Johnny on the spot, playing with leverage to the outside to flush the back only to one position that he can go, and that's to the outside. Everyone fitting in their gaps. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide.
Second down and a mile to go. 18 for the first as Brady will drop into the gun and send Jones in motion out of the backfield.
Texans showing a single high safety. That means they've got a lot of bodies around the line of scrimmage trying to defend the run.
4-man rush. Brady to the sideline, off target, looking for Antonio Brown, and it's 3rd and 18. This will be a really good test tonight, Spencer. Both of these teams, and Tom Brady fired up already, both of these teams expect to play the starters into the third quarter. A true test in this first half to see if they're ready for the regular season.
Absolutely, and all of those turnovers that Drew talked about in the open, you're going to see it tested. This is an authentic scenario where Lovie Smith, the defensive coordinator for the Texans, gets a chance to match his comfort and his calls with the talent that he has on the back end, because there's none better than that guy right there, number 12, and of course Lovie. He's one of the elite defenders in terms of coordinating in the nation.
Giovanni Bernard into the backfield. 3 receivers to the bottom of the screen. They set up the screen for Bernard. It slips right through his fingertips. And the Texans pitch a 3 and out on the opening possession and should have good field position as the Bucs send the punt team out.
Well, we talk to those Texans. They all talk about love to be in predictable down and distance scenarios where you know you can crowd the line of scrimmage because you got to get 18 plus or around there. You know you can bring pressure to the quarterback. If you've got any kind of pass rush, what the Texans have demonstrated so far this preseason, you're going to have a shot at getting to the quarterback. It takes a long time to run 18 yards.
Bradley Pinion to punt. Alex Erickson, the deep man for the Texans. Good punt. Erickson backing all the way up to the 31-yard line. Trying to find some running room, breaks a tackle, and Alex Erickson continuing a very strong preseason for the Texans special teams as a whole after the 60-yard punt. Erickson able to get a 14-yard return. And here comes Jerod Taylor out onto the field, his third preseason start. We've not seen much action from him in the preseason, just one series in each game. 47 starts in the National Football League, one Pro Bowl, that in 2015 with the Buffalo Bills.
Texans come out in a trip formation. Let's see if they throw this on first down. Hadn't been something they've done, but Tim Kelly's got it in his pocket. Looks like he's going to go inside.
And it's Lindsey, and just tripped up. He had an opening, and if he can keep his footing through that contact, Spencer, that's a big game.
Yeah, he bounces it to the outside, but as you pointed out, he lost his footing trying to cut back and go the opposite direction. You can see him wanting to come back this way, and he just gets tripped up. A lot of times when you try to cut on your inside foot, when you've got the ball in that near hand, you need to balance yourself. That ball needs to be set in the other hand, and you step that outer foot or the right foot outside so you can correct your balance. It's kind of like a tiger, man, a cougar. That tail is about balance.
There's Cooks with blocking in front, and Cooks into Tampa territory, nudging it to the 49-yard line. Host of Buccaneers there with Jason Pierre-Paul leading the way. Brandon Cooks had such a strong camp, saw his first action last week, and you saw what he did last year for the Texans. 81 catches, 1,150 yards, and 6 touchdowns for a guy who has had a knack catching a lot of passes. 5 seasons over 1,000 receiving yards in his career.
Let's see if they take this to the field. Yep.
Taylor on the roll.
Nice.
Looking for Nico Collins back out there after missing last week, and Collins cannot connect with Taylor. And the punt unit coming on for Houston.
Punt unit comes on, but what I like about that Tim Kelly orchestrated first drive, you obviously want to move the chains because it was something they struggled with last week. He stretched every part of the field, inside run to the left, Erickson, and then the opposite side of the field, trying to put complete pressure on this Tampa Bay defense. Great thinking, just needs to convert on third down. Cam
Johnston will punt it away. He's been terrific. 6 of his punts in this preseason inside the 20-yard line.
Nice.
Darden at the 9. How about another punt inside the 20-yard line for Cam Johnston and the Texans? Buccaneers' second offensive possession starts deep in their own end in a scoreless first quarter. Scoreless early in Houston between Tampa Bay and the Texans. Time to look at our players to watch, brought to you by Houston Methodist, and we start Spencer Tillman on the offensive line.
I really like Charlie Heck. You talk about a guy that's reset his aim, mainly due to COVID, refocused himself and really improved year over year, the best they have. Meantime, Shaq Lawson, here's a guy, I think this is a fair critique. He's got to step up a little bit. I've been underwhelming so far. And then, of course, Tremont Smith. He had a challenge last week, responded after a couple of solid games, but Dallas tested him. Let's see how he responds emotionally.
Fournette out of the backfield in motion on first down. Brady to throw, looking to the sideline. Open is Brown, and Antonio Brown twists his way to the 17-yard line, picking up 8 before Desmond King can bring him down.
Yeah, they got to do a better job of angles. This game is about names, angles, and you got to be able to understand where you have leverage and when you don't have leverage on the back end.
Our 1st and 10 line this quarter is brought to you by Verizon, and it shows Tampa 2 yards away from a first. Quick toss again, and getting Mike Evans involved for the first time. He's got a first down to the 26.
Well, again, that's another example of leverage, and what Tom Brady is doing right now is getting this ball thrown on a dart on the inside and allowing his guys to pivot. They've got what they call a bail technique, playing inside it out, and watch him. If you're going the other way, you got to break down and square that guy up. Got to make solid tackles. Brady exploiting him a little bit.
From the 26, first down. 4-man Texans rush. Brady to the sideline once more. There's Evans again. There's a reason Mike Evans, since 2014, Spencer, is one of the top 3 receivers in the league as far as touchdowns and yards. He gets open, and he has sure hands.
And part of it is the accuracy that Tom Brady throws with. You know, at 43, he's not as mobile. We know that. That's never been his game. But in terms of placing the ball where it needs to be, there are a few better.
First down at the 37. Brady again over the middle, open receiver, and down to the Texans 35 is Chris Godwin. And here comes Brady and the Bucs keeping the pace up in this first quarter.
I stole a year from Brady. He's actually 44. And you watch the footwork here, stepping up in the pocket, man, delivers on strike. There's the accuracy that we talked about. Finding a void in that zone defense. Now pace and tempo is a tactical advantage.
From the 35-yard line of Houston on first down. Brady to throw again. Throws it short as he checks it down to the 32-yard line. It's where Leonard Fournette was waiting and where Christian Kirksey was waiting to make the stop.
Yeah, just a little check down route there. Christian working that middle of the field. Wasn't challenged from a man route or anything, but that's just like stealing. Those little check down routes, small, but you got to be able to check them and get them.
2nd down and 7. Texans bring pressure. Brady throws on a slant. It's Brown twisted down with a 1st down at the 24-yard line. Tackle made by Vernon Hargreaves, but the Bucs move the chains once more.
Hargreaves with excellent proximity to the receiver on that play. And this is when you play aggressive like this with a single high safety. It is built to stop the intermediate routes, but if you miss on the edges, you're in trouble.
1st down at the 24. Brady again. High toss, pulled down, touchdown, Chris Godwin. That was a vintage Tom Brady drive. 24-yard touchdown pass to Godwin, and the Bucs are on the board.
Yeah, and Desmond King was up there defending. He's excellent on special teams, but this is where they want to test you. It's those vertical routes. And again, in this coverage, that's where the weak spots is on this defense. The Tampa 2 has deep third responsibility, and then you have the middle of the field around the passage. Those 3 parts of the field are most vulnerable in this particular coverage. So the outer quarters and then the middle of the field. Texans have got to account for that. You may see the Mike linebacker lined up there occasionally, but no matter who it is, and they mixed it up there, otherwise King wouldn't have been on him. It's usually the Mike. They've got to find a solution there. Oh, nice
tip. The extra point is blocked.
Yeah.
And it'll stay 6-0 Tampa Bay. Vincent Taylor got his mitts on that one and batted it down, so a little momentum boost perhaps at the end of a 7-play, 91-yard touchdown drive. But Taylor able to pop in and get the big right hand on the extra point try from Tampa. Our scoreboard this quarter is brought to you by Hyundai, and after a 7-play, 91-yard drive, Tampa Bay with a 6-0 lead over the Houston Texans. Football is back, and we want to see you, our fans. Post your photos using the hashtag #ThatFootballFeeling on social media, and you might see your photos on screen later tonight. And make sure you follow the Texans on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok for team news, behind-the-scenes content, and more. See Texans Pub in the picks for game day tonight. Alex Erickson, the deep man, 6 yards deep. He'll bring it out of the end zone. Erickson trying to make a play, and he's yanked down at the 22-yard line by K.J. Britt.
I love the decision to bring it out. It looked like he was a little bit deep, but he's got great vision and went to where the void was in the coverage. Hey, just to put a button on that last drive, give the devil his due. I mean, Tom Brady was outstanding. 7 for 7 for 91 yards. He hit 5 different receivers. Usually you look for bibliography and footnotes on a drive. From a defensive standpoint, you have nowhere to focus. This guy is equally disruptive in terms of a quarterback, and certain the shoulder pads, man.
From the 21-yard line, it's 1st down. Here's Ingram with his first carry, and Mark Ingram out near the 25-yard line picks up 4 on his first carry of the night. And the thing that makes it so tough on a Texans or anybody's defense, when Tom Brady is going, the ball gets out so quick, Spencer, even with a good pass rush, as we've seen from the Texans in the first 2 preseason games. Boy, it's hard to get to him when he's on a rhythm.
Yeah, Malik Collins, all those guys that we talked about, Minihue, Jacob Martin, all of them are outside rushers, inside rushers, but it's tough, and it works on you mentally when he gets the ball out so fast.
2nd down and 6. Taylor drops to throw, short to Collins. Nico Collins tripped up at the 29. Texans need 2 for the 1st down as Levante David makes the tackle.
And I think the way this team wants to be built, as you look at Collins, I think he's going to be outstanding. He had, in game 1, a nice catch inside the green zone. He was really, really big. We know about his size, right? He's getting like 6'4", 215 pounds. That's where he's going to make most of his damage when he gets inside the green area. Out of Michigan, I don't think they even used him at the level that they needed to. He was underused, but I think here he's going to be a strategic asset for this ball club if they can get down in that green and red area.
Rookie focus presented by Kroger. 3rd down and 2. It's David Johnson who gets the carry, and he gets the 1st down. This is news. Last week, the Texans 0 for 10 on 3rd down. Big emphasis when we talked with David Culley earlier this week was converting on 3rd downs. Very encouraging sign here.
And I like it again because the Tampa Bay was at the line of scrimmage showing a pressure look. They didn't really bail out because they read read and came after it, but I like the fact that 31's into the game. Tim Kelly, great job of balancing what his play selection is, but it's tough when you're playing from behind.
From the 33 on 1st down.
Nice guards pulling.
Ingram,
Nice.
a hole, and then pulled down as he gets to the 36-yard line. Ripped down by Hakeem Nunez-Roches.
Yeah, love the off guards pulling in this scheme. And again, these guys are coming this direction back here. Watch that guard show up and flash. Tight end is first, guards right behind him. What you see, that's kind of a power look, and Ingram does a fantastic job of sifting through there and finding just enough space in that backfield. He's solid, man. Like to see him down in the red zone, but it's good that they're using him in the middle of the field here.
2nd and 7. David Johnson in a running back. The carry for Johnson, weaving his way through an opening, and Johnson into the secondary and into Tampa territory, down to the 43 before Mike Edwards could get him around the ankles and pull him down, a 21-yard gain.
Look at this read. This looks like 2016, man, when he had a breakout year, stellar numbers that year. Able to recognize where the pressure's coming from the inside. Nice stretch. Sharpen, all of those guys stretching and getting the blocks wide so that those voids can open and he can have a decision whether or not to cut it back or stay vertical like he did. That's a great run right there and block.
On 1st down at the 43,
Nice.
Alex Erickson on the sideline. Erickson gets 9, nudged out by Carlton Davis III. But now 2nd and 1 for the Texans.
Caught Tampa Bay sleeping there. Nice little pick out in the boundary. And you got off coverage on the outside. There's a pattern there. You've got the underneath coverage and then the basic out to the flat. They totally missed that. They've got to do a better job of squeezing on that and pushing it. Sometimes when you got motion, you can bump that out to the widest guy. But there, Coach Cully with an advantage of a guy that just busted the coverage.
From the 35, 2nd down, Ingram looking for the 1st down. He's got it.
Yes.
Down at the 32-yard line, and the Texans have something brewing here midway through the 1st quarter.
And look at the balance of how they're building this. You know, my big concern, I'm just being transparent here. You can see nice play action, get Mark Ingram finding some voids in there, but they're building this nickel and diamond, cutting them down 4 yards, 5 yards, and a big gainer in there, mixing it up. This is exactly how they want to be viewed as an offense.
8th play of the drive. Play action for Taylor with time. Going through his progressions. Finds Ingram short. Had to check it down. And Ingram down at the 29-yard line in the arms of Pierre Paul.
Pierre Paul, nice athletic guy, stops Ingram, but you know, he talked about the 11 years he's been in this league. He split time when he was in Baltimore. There's not a lot of tread on it in terms of in the aggregate, but he is 31 years of age, and 11 years in dog years is a long time in the National Football League. But he's still effective, takes care of his body, in great condition.
2nd and 7 from the pistol. Here's Lindsey. A lot of bodies over there to navigate through. Pierre Paul brought him down from behind at the 28-yard line. Golston in there as well. One guy you won't see for Tampa tonight, Ndamukong Suh, was placed on the COVID list today, so the veteran lineman for Tampa Bay not in there tonight for the Bucs.
Boy, that guy right there, even at advanced age, still plays that zero technique about as well as anybody over the nose. And you know, they don't waste his talent, but when they do, he's in the lineup. He makes his presence felt, to be sure.
3rd and 6 at the Tampa 28-yard line. Johnson the carry, slithers through an opening, fighting his way towards the sticks, and he's going to be just short of a 1st down. We'll see what David Culley wants to do here. You've got an excellent kicking game so far. Maybe they go for it, though, on 4th and 1.
Yeah, I think you want to go for it. I mean, look, you've been able to drive the ball down the field and do what you did so well in game 1, possess the ball, take time off the clock. This is quality.
They are going to go 4th and 1. No, quick snap, handoff to Ingram, trying to bully his way inside, and I don't think he got it.
Nope.
Good push up front from Nunez-Roches to get the stop on Mark Ingram.
You see what kind of spot he got there.
And it is a good spot, Spencer, and it's a 1st down.
Credit Maia Chaka, the line judge, for that. When she comes in there and sets that ball, man, number 2 gets it in her mind's eye. A quality decision right there. Love it.
Let's go down to Drew Doherty.
You guys talked about how they went for it there on 4th down. They might have just wanted to see how the 4th down offense looks, but Justin Reed is your kicker tonight, as you see some yardage there. Justin Reed is the kicker tonight. Kaimi Fairbairn being held out for precautionary reasons. So Reed, Played a lot of soccer growing up in Louisiana. We've seen him screwing around with the soccer ball after practices from time to time. He can play soccer, he can kick, and you saw him on the kickoff, and we'll see what he does if the Texans have to kick extra points and field goals too.
And Drew, we just saw some suddenness from David Johnson spin out of that play. That was impressive.
13th play of the drive, 2nd and 10 at the 22. Taylor, pressure up the middle. He's in trouble, able to get away. Taylor turning the corner, he can run, and Taylor dancing down the sidelines out of bounds at the Tampa 16. Boy, he had Joe Tryon-Shoyinka on his back and outran the rookie to the edge.
Shoyinka was on a game or a deal on the outside. He came underneath it, and Jerod Taylor just outran him. I mean, when you can run away from the pressure, that's instinctive quarterback play right there. Run where they ain't. That's what they used to say, or run to the daylight, like Jerry Glanville was fond of saying.
This trip to the red zone is brought to you by TDECU, the official credit union of the Houston Texans.
This bunch formation, 3 receivers, giving Tampa Bay some problems.
And a timeout used by Taylor before this 3rd down and 4 play. Texans on the move, trailing 6-0.
Their first 30-second.
Back to work on a 3rd and 4 for the Texans at the 16-yard line. 3 receivers to the bottom of the screen, and flags fly. And instead of 3rd and 4, Houston will have to deal with a 3rd and 9.
False start. Number 72 offense. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
That's Jaron Christian starting at left tackle with Laramie Tunsil still battling the effects of being on the COVID list.
And that's unfortunate, too, because Tampa Bay just had a 4-man rush. Texans had great numbers, which is the objective. Protection looked like it was going to be a pass, and you got to hold your water, Christian. Hang in there and make this drive pay off.
10 runs and 3 passes on this drive. We told you at the top of the broadcast they wanted to see consistency and productivity from the run game. Showing it on this drive. 3rd and 9 at the 21. Taylor to the air. He's got a man opens. It's his tight end, Jordan Akins. And Akins out of bounds right near the 1st down yardage, shoved out by Lavonte David.
Well, this tight end group really looks good. Tampa Bay had all-out pressure coming, gaming and dealing up front. Look at them all sitting around the line of scrimmage. A faux sugar look. In other words, they step up in the line of scrimmage, act like they're going to bail out, but eventually do come. And that little hesitation is what gave Jerod Taylor enough time to get it to his tight end, who was wide open.
It is a 1st down at the 12. Taylor on 1st down to Ingram. A little cutback, finds the hole, and he stood up at the 7-yard line after a 5-yard gain, driven back by Lavonte David and Shaquille Barrett also in there for Tampa Bay.
You know, what made that play almost break out the back door was Charlie Heck. We talked about him. He cuts him off, does 67 on the back end of that. That opens up that little lane that allowed him to get those 3 or 4 yards. Heck did a nice job playing from the opposite side of the flow of that play to give that running back a crease there. Outstanding job.
Texans knocking on the door against the defending Super Bowl champs late in this 1st quarter. On 2nd down.
Nice, got him.
Taylor throwing short, and that's incomplete. Looking for Pharaoh Brown. Play seemed a little off from the jump. Shaquille Barrett providing the pursuit.
Well, pressure will do that. When you have a defense that's able to play on the opposite side of the ball, immediately they're in Jerod Taylor's face. Again, the play action worked, but going again away from him is what really did it. That was Barrett, Shaquille Barrett, working opposite, showing you that speed that he has to disrupt that play. Otherwise, it should have been a completion.
Remember what Drew told us a little while ago, no Kaimi Fairbairn being held out for precautionary reasons tonight. 3rd and 5 at the 7-yard line for the Texans. Here's Ingram trying to get to the edge, lowering the shoulder pads, and he cannot get through that Tampa front. Right there to lead the way was Jeremiah Ledbetter, the 1st man to contact Mark Ingram, and it's 4th down.
Jeremiah Ledbetter is a load man. His father played fullback at the University of Oklahoma back in the day. Weldon Ledbetter, and he comes from good stock, a guy that can flow and react, just outnumbered there. They're going for it once again. They like it, man. I love the confidence that they're showing.
Or a lack of confidence in Justin Reed to kick a field goal. One of the two. 4th and 5 at the 7.
Oh, I like the switch twins look. If they get it open versus off coverage, you got to throw it now.
Taylor with time. Pocket collapsing. Taylor in trouble. On the roll, throwing for the end zone, just wide of David Johnson. And the Buccaneers turn the Texans away on 4th down.
Yeah, the pressure was a little bit too much. And again, being a right-handed quarterback trying to throw the opposite direction, it was a little bit too tough. Taylor pressured, trying to get rid of it. Shows you athleticism, but he'll have to live for another shot another day.
Longest drive of the preseason, but the Texans come up empty inside the 10. Still 6-0 Tampa. Bucs on offense when we return. Alongside Spencer Tillman with Drew Doherty on the field, I'm Kevin Kugler. Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers going to work from their own 7-yard line. They marched it from the 9 the last time they had it. Brady 7 of 7 for 91 yards on the last drive. Going to work from the 7-yard line on 1st down. He'll throw from the end zone. Brady, it's caught. It's Godwin, and Godwin across the 35 and out of bounds at the 39-yard line. 32-yard pickup on the play and a Tampa 1st down.
Yeah, Desmond King, they're going after him on these shallow crossing routes. And again, despite the fact that Brady threw the ball to 5 different receivers on the last possession, last series that they had, he's going on to number 25.
Of the first quarter.
And the quarter comes to a close. Tom Brady and Tampa Bay on the road in Houston, and a 6-0 lead for Tampa through 1. More from the Texans television network in a moment. With former Houston running back Spencer Tillman and Drew Doherty on the sidelines, I'm Kevin Kugler. Start of the second quarter, 6-0 lead for Tampa Bay. Tom Brady and the Buccaneers 1st down and 10 at their own 39-yard line. And on 1st down, a run for Jones. Ronald Jones breaking a tackle before Reed can pull him down at the 49-yard line. Does that count as being tackled by a kicker since Justin Reed kicked off to start this game? Our game stats are brought to you by Reliant, and in the first quarter it was Tom Brady's arm that did the job for Tampa Bay.
Well, that was the first run that they had. It was prior to that was 10 straight passes by Tom Brady, and again, when they come back to the run, the Texans have got to respond. Vincent Taylor there with the miss, kind of let him slide through. That's a rare time on defense where we see these guys up front who have been magnificent so far this preseason in run defense.
O.J. Howard in motion for Tampa on 1st down. Quick swing to Antonio Brown with a blocker in front, and Brown ushered out at the Texans' 41-yard line by Desmond King. Another 1st down for Tampa.
Well, there's no question about what Tom Brady is doing. He's working on number 25, King, and he sees him inside wherever that matchup is. As long as he's in the game, he's trying to find it and exploit it. It's one of those things that you got to respond to. You know, this guy's a special team asset. He's going to make this team. But in the preseason in particular, you don't want to get exposed because everybody's going to look at the same tape. And this is what Brady's trying to do. He's trying to expose what he perceives as a weakness.
On the 41-yard line of Houston on 1st down. Brady steps up, left sideline, Brown with the catch at the 25. It's such an advantage to have experience in this league, Spencer, but this is unheard of. Tampa is bringing back all 22 of their Super Bowl starters this year. It's the first time in the salary cap era that has happened. All 22 players that started the Super Bowl are back to start for Tampa Bay.
Well, you get that to that point when you have success. I mean, what Bruce Arians understands is it's going to be a destination point for people to want to play with Tom Brady. It's not because of any other reason other than finances that they weren't able to bring everybody back.
On 1st down, it's Jones. Powers his way to the 18-yard line. Incidentally, the last time that happened, it was the Raiders in 1977. The last team to bring back all their starters. They made it to the AFC title game that next season.
And you know, the thing that really makes it work, and this is kind of an unsung thing, but number 12 is always, no matter where he was, and Patriots are here, has adjusted his contract and renegotiated to allow them to maintain and go out and get a couple of parts if they need to. So, you know, Tom Brady is a team guy in the strictest sense of the definition.
From the 18-yard line, 2nd down and 3 for Tampa Bay. Brady, quick slant off the fingertips of Mike Evans, and it brings up 3rd down.
Excellent job of getting the ball out quick, but Terrence Mitchell was there defending and did a fine job of keeping himself in close proximity of the would-be receiver.
So now a 3rd down and 3. And this Texans defense get the stop inside the 20-yard line.
The anatomy of this drive sounds a little bit different, though.
Our 1st and 10 line this quarter is brought to you by Mattress Firm. They need 3 for that first down. Giovanni Bernard in the backfield. Brady throws it short. Howard with the catch, and his tight end's got a first down. Kamut Grugier-Hill on the tackle at the 13, picks up 5 to move the chains.
Grugier-Hill read like a computer. Despite the protection there, he's in his spot. That's where he needs to be, and he played that inside position exactly. He read it like a Mike linebacker should. Comes and gets that inside curl route, that number, that void right there, one of the underneath zones is his responsibility, and he played it just like it needed to be played.
8th play of the drive for Tampa. Jones bouncing to the outside, a lot of green in front, and he'll high step it in for the touchdown.
Just looking, you never want to point fingers, but you got to say what you see. And Vernon Hargreaves was out there, number 26 on the outside. You got to have contained. One of those defensive backs, as this ball bends and goes back out to the door, you got to be able to stay right there. One player trips down. Hargreaves is right there in his hip pocket, but nobody's containing, and that's what was responsible for that breakout to the end zone.
Set it.
First extra point was blocked. This one good. And a 13-0 lead for Tampa Bay with 11:43 remaining in the first half. Earlier in training camp, we got a chance to put a microphone on Texans running back Mark Ingram during one of the practices. This exclusive video gives you a chance to get to know the NFL veteran just a little better.
Invoking a little Rastafarian in there. And did I hear a little Merle Haggard and George Jones in there? Yesterday's wine? Well, they say miracles appear in the strangest of places.
Most rushing yards by a running back since 2011, aging like fine wine. Mark Ingram, 7,324 yards. Speaking of aging like fine wine, the guy at the top of that list, Frank Gore. Yeah. 9,586 yards. LaShawn McCoy, Adrian Peterson, and Mark Ingram.
I don't think I've ever seen anything like Frank Gore. That guy was unbelievable. In all those years there with the San Francisco 49ers, I never saw anybody take care of his body quite like he did. But that number 2 right there is close, man. He's had the benefit of playing for the Ravens in split time and doesn't have a lot of tread on it. But again, you measure things in dog years in the NFL at running back, and 11 years is a long time.
Battled that ankle injury a year ago, now with the Texans. They added him first, then Philip Lindsay became available, so they went and got him as well. So there's a lot of experience in that room, and it's going to be a tough decision for David Culley to make at that running back spot, as Erickson will watch that one bounce through the end zone for the touchback. 13-0 Tampa Bay as Jerod Taylor and the Texans offense goes back to work. The Texans regular season kickoff game is Sunday, September 12th at noon. Don't miss your chance to be a part of the best game day atmosphere. Tailgating, giveaways, amazing food options, and more. Visit HoustonTexans.com/tickets to experience that football feeling. It was so nice walking into the stadium today, even on a hot August afternoon. They were out tailgating in full force today.
I saw them from the elevators and up front, and they were piling in big time. Good to see that.
From the 25-yard line, it's Philip Lindsay at running back. Taylor changing things up. Lindsay on first down. A little crease, and Lindsay, good run on first down out to the 31, picks up 6.
Lindsay's got to do a better job on those types of plays of keeping his head up. Kiki Kuti was blocking on the outside there. And, you know, when you got your head up, just watch Kiki right in front of him. He gets pushed back, but you got to have an inside vision there to be able to take that back inside, because you're not going to get much force from number 16 on a linebacker or even a wide receiver. Kiki's a little bit undersized.
On 2nd and 4, it's Lindsay again, and Lindsay tripped up short of the first down. Anthony Nelson, third-year man from Iowa, who Tampa took in the 4th round in 2019.
Sorry about that, partner. You know, Lindsay, he can ball now. There's no question. He comes out of this game, and it's one of the stories that was a disappointment for a lot of folks. Grew up in the Denver area, and when they, of course, got a high-price signee at running back, he was the odd man out, you know, despite the fact that he's a hometown kid. Back-to-back years making the Pro Bowl. It's impressive.
3rd down and short. Here's Ingram using the power to blast his way for the first down at the 35-yard line.
On top of that, he had a couple of 1,000-yard years. Here's a look inside. Number 2 showing you what he can do, like yesterday's wine, trying to get to that line. And,
that was fine?
Yeah, that was fine, wasn't it?
He made that first down mine, or his, I guess. I'm just trying to rhyme, keep the theme going here.
It works, brother.
From the 35.
Nice quick, I love the thought here.
QT with his first catch to the 38-yard line, picks up 3. And this is the first time Kiki QT has taken preseason snaps at NRG Stadium. He's never been able to play in a preseason game here at home.
Well, again, those tight cluster formations, the key with him is to get the ball in his hand as quickly as you possibly can. And there is a theme that's emerging. This is year 4 for him. This is a payoff year, if you will. Let's see how he responds, not just from the health standpoint, but the mental aspects as well. Very productive, but needs to be a little bit more consistent. Probably their best red zone threat last year.
Made some good strides throughout camp this season. Second and 7 to the 38. Lindsey dropped at the 40-yard line by the rookie from Washington, Joe Tryon-Shoyinka, who was the first-round pick. Played just 2 seasons at Washington with COVID disrupting everything in 2020. It's a guy they are very high on in Tampa.
Well, he comes down that hard line of scrimmage with intention, ill intention, partner.
3rd down and 6 coming up, and our 1st and 10 line this quarter is brought to you by Mattress Firm. They need the 45 for the 1st down. It's Rex Burkhead in the backfield next to Taylor. Bucks rush 4. Taylor in some trouble. Ball is out, loose on the turf, still loose, and a battle for it at the 33-yard line. Tampa says they have it, and they do.
Davis mounted it and got on top of it there, but you know, this is really about ball security. When everything breaks down, Delaney did a fantastic job of recovering for the opposition, but Tyra's got his eyes upfield, which is what he wants to do. Footwork, feels the pressure, shows you some of that mobility, but the heat comes from behind him and got him.
Ruling on the field is a fumble recovered by the defense. 1st down.
It was the rookie that we were just talking about, Joe Tryon-Shoyinka, that punched it out from the hands of Tyrod Taylor, and the Texans turn it over, down 13-0. Tampa Bay takes over at the 33-yard line of Houston, and on 1st down, Blaine Gabbert on the field, and Gabbert is dropped. Right up the gut comes Charles Omenihu. Had 2 last week in Dallas. How about 1 more for his outstanding preseason?
Well, it doesn't matter where they line him up, on the inside or outside. You can see him lined up on the inside here. Pressure's going to come from 94. He does a fantastic job from that inside alignment and direct beeline to the quarterback. He's got those long arms, and I'm going to tell you, the Longhorn is really, really playing at a high level. I like to see them when they kick him down inside. He can be as disruptive there as he can from the edge.
2nd and 20 after the Omenihu sack. Gabbert.
Just a 4-man rush here.
And he throws, intercepted. The pick by Terrence Brooks. And Brooks returns it to the 37-yard line. A sack and a pick, and the Texans defense gets the takeaway they needed.
You know, Gabbert's giving you body language like that was a mistake on the receiver's part, but what it just shows you is the chasm between Brady and Gabbert. His eyes upfield, he telegraphs this ball right here, and it is tipped a little bit by that underneath coverage.
Interception by the defense. 1st down, Houston. Timeout.
So the Texans, who've been doing it all preseason, get takeaway number 8 in the preseason and get it right back to the offense. Our scoreboard this quarter is brought to you by Houston area Ford dealers. 13-0 Tampa Bay. But Terrence Brooks, its 2nd interception of the preseason. Spencer Tillman, what do you do here?
Well, here's the look right here. They got a single high safety right here in the middle of the field. That single high safety means there are a lot of bodies around the line of scrimmage, and underneath coverage is protected. 5 zones. You got 6 guys in that area, and Blaine Gabbert, the former #1 draft pick of the Jacksonville Jaguars, didn't see it and just threw it right into coverage. Davis
Mills on at quarterback now for Houston. And on 1st down on play action, Mills on the roll to the sideline, and that's incomplete. He wanted Brandon Cooks and nearly gave it right back to Tampa.
You don't want to see that. You want to get Mills in the game and get him some flow going, because he's been impressive. You know, I love his stature, love his accuracy. Those are some of the skills that separate him. Very gifted young man, a value pick at that 3rd round, essentially for the Texans, their first pick, but it didn't come until the 3rd round. He has a chance to grow and be something important to this team.
Ingram, the running back, on 2nd down and 10. Ingram got a block. Ingram with a hole. First down to midfield. Charlie Heck sprung him. He did the rest to pick up 12.
That was a heck of a job, wasn't it? Yeah, it was a nice job. And here's the isolation of it. You can see great man double team up front, and number 2 just finds a nice little alley in there and shows you 11 years of tread. Hey, I still got something left. Here's a little yesterday's wine for you. It's better with time as I get to that line. I promise no more.
Fine. From the 49, 1st down and 10. Ingram. Another crease into Bucs territory and down to the 45-yard line. That's a 6-yard gain for Mark Ingram.
Yeah, he's giving us a little bit of that old school Edgerrin James. Slow to, fast through. Watch him just sift through. He runs kind of erect. He's just sorting it out. And then he lowers his shoulder at about 5'9", 215. He's going to win most of those battles against those defensive back and even the occasional linebacker. David Culley's like it. I didn't know if this mix was going to work for David Culley to the extent that it has been, but if they can play with a lead, I'm okay with them doing it this way. But man, when you have to throw the ball, of the 3 things that can happen, 2 of them are bad.
2nd and 4, pressure coming. It's picked up. Mills over the middle, and almost an outstanding one-hand catch by Nico Collins.
Yep. And there's one of them right there. So when you throw the ball, you can have it intercepted. You can obviously catch it. That's the one good thing. But then you can have an incompletion. So Nico is going to be an advantage against anybody with his size and coming on those shallow crossing routes or those hook or those overs. He is a difficult defense right there. But you got to put it on him. He's got to make the catch. If it touches your hand, the old school thought is you got to catch it. Texans got to make those plays. Let's see what they do with this bunch formation. This is really difficult to sort out from a defensive standpoint. Usually there's a rub that comes off of it.
Mills having to elude the rush. Nice. Floats it down to Erickson, and it banged off the back of D. Delaney, who was defending. And it brings up 4th down.
D. Delaney didn't even know it hit him in the back. And it was a nice effort by Mills and just throwing it, getting as much as he possibly could. But you can watch Delaney. He is in what we call a trail technique. His back is turned. He doesn't even know the ball is thrown right now. Great job of defending space to keep Erickson from coming back and making that play. Like the kid out of Stanford. He's a sharp, intelligent guy, man. Want to see him do well.
Johnston to punt. Jalen Darden, the deep man. Rookie from North Texas that Tampa took in the 4th round this year. Darden will let this one sail. It bounces inside the 5, and Johnston's done it again. What a weapon he has been in the preseason. One of the reasons Nick Caserio went out to get this punter. He is deadly.
Man, I tell you, he had a 9-iron last week. I mean, that really landed where it needed to and spun back. And watch his reaction to this one. Oh, yes. Thank you. Oh, that's sweet, man. Can we do that again?
13-0 Tampa. Thanks to Cam Johnston's work, Tampa will start inside their 10 for the 3rd time in this first half. Want to win season tickets to the Houston Texans home games this season? It's easy. Just keep watching the game. We'll announce the Mattress Firm Rising Star during the 4th quarter. When you hear it, visit abc13.com and enter the Rising Star's name. You could win season tickets, parking, and more for the 2021 season. Nowhere to go for Keyshawn Vaughn, swallowed up in the backfield. Kamut Rouge-Hill was there. Christian Kirksey there as well. And it's 2nd and long.
And when your punter does this to put everybody back up, you can pin yours back and come after it. And I think there's something, an understory here that's working too. You know, Jalen Darden, number 1 for Tampa Bay, is a great return guy. As you mentioned early on, he's from the Aldine School District area out of here. As you mentioned, a very talented guy, but he's keeping the ball out of his hands. That's helping the cause.
Tyler Johnson in motion, 2nd and 12. Handoff up the middle to Vaughn, and Vaughn trying to get that yardage back. He does, out to the 5-yard line. Tackled by Jacob Martin, and it's 3rd and long for Blaine Gabbert and the Buccaneers offense.
What a solid preseason Jacob Martin has had, working from outside and oftentimes working on the edge, rushing in this aggressive 4-3 of Lovie Smith. Has been able to be effective with violent hands against big tackles. And he does a fine job of just being in his spot. But when they ask him to make plays, he's put on about 10 pounds. But you know what? He hadn't lost any speed. Very effective.
Relentless is how everybody describes Jacob Martin. 3rd and 8. Giovanni Bernard in the backfield. Low snap, and Gabbert has to fall on it in the end zone. They'll look, they're going to convert and make sure that he is in the end zone, and it is a safety, and the Texans are on the board. The defense gets points thanks to the errant snap to Blaine Gabbert.
Well, Gabbert's had a tough couple of series here. Again, an interception, and then, of course, the safety. Texans do a nice job of keeping their eyes upfield. Just a 4-man rush, an inside game and deal, but the presence of mind to understand where he is. Gabbert, with no one touching him, probably could have rolled out of that situation, but you just got to be mindful. He tried to a little bit near the end, just couldn't get it clean outside, and they conferred and determined that he was still in the end zone.
So the Texans on the board. Lovie Smith's defense to put points up first, and it's 13-2 with 4:46 remaining in this first half. And now a word from Academy Sports and Outdoors. Texans ready to get it on the free kick. Alex Erickson, the deep man. Kenyon will punt it away.
Look at all those bicycles.
Please set the game clock to 4 minutes and 51 seconds. 4:51 on the game clock, please.
When COVID hit, you couldn't find a bicycle in Houston, man. Academy's the only place you can go and get them now, man. They got them in plenty, but during COVID, man, everybody had to get some work. Got frustrated to the point where it started a run on bicycles.
Did you get a bicycle to ride around?
I got a bike.
Erickson from the 10-yard line. Across the 25, across the 30. Good return for Alex Erickson to the 32-yard line. A 22-yard return for Erickson, and the Texans with decent field position down 11.
When those guys really put their speed and their jets on, they've got to finish. He does a nice job of identifying and then deciding to get upfield. But you can't really tucker and kind of fold that thing down. You got to hit it, man, north and south. It's really difficult from a coverage man standpoint to stop a guy that's going vertical, but it takes courage as a runner to stay vertical and just run right through those arm tackles.
Jordan Akins in motion on first down at the 32.
Close, tight formation, inside run.
Ingram the carry, trying to bounce it to the outside. A little stiff arm as he turns the corner. And as you said, a little tread still on the tires for Ingram. Showed some speed to the edge as he picks up 7.
Well, he does a nice job of getting inside. He's going to bend this thing back around to the outside, and that's what you really like. Tight end blocking for him, and he gets an extra 1, 2, 3, 4 yards after the initial contact around the edge. And hey, 11 years, I can still scoot a little bit. I mean, Nick Saban had a good one many years ago, man, and since he's been with the Houston Texans, he is still producing.
Bills under center on 2nd and 3. Ingram again. Ingram working his way for the first down just across the 42 to move the chains.
See, the anatomy of what the Texans are doing now works. And Ingram a little bit slow to give up. I hope that he's all right there. But again, just a little inside stretch play. He finds a nice little void inside and gets forward yardage. But when you have to get it back in smaller chunks like this, Tim Kelly has got to be mindful of that. And eventually, one of the things you haven't seen is the Texans go vertical. He's got to mix things up, and he's been able to keep that in his back pocket. And so it made it easier to defend the Texans. But I think you got to complement that with some vertical routes to make the defense remain honest.
43-yard line. Mills with time to the sideline, trying to come back for it. It's intercepted. Picked off by Miller. He'll take it down the sidelines, and Herb Miller from Florida Atlantic with the pick and the return into Texans territory.
Well, that's a big boy route there. The deep out is one of the requisite throws you've got to be able to throw as an NFL quarterback. He's got an arm enough to do it, but he just kind of floated it up underneath it. That's just a well-defended pass. I mean, so give him credit, man. He just defended it. The play action does its job. You had everyone committing up front. The ball looks like it's a beautiful ball. Just had maybe a little bit too much air underneath it. When you're making a cross-field throw like that, where you got to put it on the dart, he's capable of doing it.
Wanted Chris Moore, Miller in front to make the play. They may be moving this back.
Going on the field is an interception, but the intercepting player was down by contact at the 45-yard line. It's first down. Please set the game clock to 3:28. 3:28, please.
So Moore got just enough when Miller was on the turf to constitute a tackle. It'll still be Tampa ball, but back at their own 45.
And that's part of it. You've created a turnover. You don't want to do that. We know how productive this team can be from an offensive standpoint, although Gabbert has struggled. Mills is a guy that's capable of doing much better. If you're going to ask him to make those big throws, he's got to understand the coverage. He had one-on-one coverage, so it's about placement when you put the ball and how much you put on it.
High snap to Gabbert, and on first down, able to pull it down, gives it to Vaughn, and really nowhere to go against Lovie Smith's defense for a guy who knows this defense well. He played a year for Lovie at Illinois, went against it a lot in practice.
Yeah, executed the ball. It's high snap, and Gabbert has to go up and climb the ladder to get it. And when that happens, the back instinctively kind of keeps his eye on the ball. You're not supposed to, but it's really tough, man, when you can see your quarterback out of your peripheral vision jumping up, and it messes with the mesh point where you get that ball, and you can't really read the line of scrimmage at that point, and not a lot of good things happen when that occurs.
2nd and 10 at the 45. Gabbert with some time, batted down by Ross Blacklock.
The old TCU Horned Frogs leaping up and making a play there. Blacklock loves to play that inside underneath the under technique. He can play, if they show you multiples in a 3-4, he can play over the nose. He's cat quick, got great size, not the tallest guy in the world, but he's thick, man, and he moves like a cat. I love this guy. 2nd round pick, played in 15 games. This is a start and one start last year, and the thing I like about him is he played in a Gary Patterson defense that was very aggressive, and that aligns, even though it's a 3-4, it's different from this 4-3, it aligns with the theme and the philosophy in terms of being aggressive that Lovie Smith ascribes to.
3rd down and 10 at the 45. Texans rush 4. Gabbert over the middle. That's incomplete. Good coverage on Scotty Miller. There were 3 Texans in the area. No chance to connect with Miller. And it's 4th down. Defense does its job again.
Well, they trying to take advantage of what is the declared weakness for Tampa 2 coverage, and it's the hashes. You know, when you talk about this part of the field is where the voids are in this defense. 2 deep safeties, and they're going to try to hit those voids. But if you're the Mike linebacker, you're coming out of there hell-bent for election. That's what a Mike linebacker is supposed to do. That is textbook coverage there. And if you got safeties that can cover and have range, remember the old Bob Sanders back in the old days with the Indianapolis coach, guys that have range that can cover if that linebacker doesn't get back there.
Bounce at the 1 and flipped back into play. The ball trickles loose and caroms forward. Texans get a little break with the carom, but they're still deep in their own end inside the 10-yard line.
Well, it's just a great physical effort of knowing where you are, and clearly he was up in the air. That ball is inbounds, and I don't know if the second guy in had his foot on the line or not, but I think his feet were up in the air. That ball, I think, is going to be placed exactly where it is now.
Clay Martin, our referee, will tell us.
Ruling on the field is that the second player that touched the ball had a foot on the goal line. By rule, that's a touchback.
Wow. I didn't see that from this angle, but we'll take it.
Texans certainly happy with the results of that. David Culley's team out on the touchback. We have ways for all fans to experience that football feeling throughout the season. Call us at 832-667-2390 to find out which package is the best fit for you. Single game, multi-game, and group tickets available. Call or visit the website to find out more.
You call it, we'll haul it. I'm going to make a call.
You're not going to find a better game day atmosphere. When the Texans get this one started in a couple of weeks, you're going to want to be here.
And you know the smiles on the faces, even though they had masks on when we walked in, you could tell the look and people greeting you in the elevator. Everywhere you went, it was just such a warm feeling. Really powerful.
Tampa Bay is challenging the ruling on the field on the previous play. The play is now under review.
If anything, his knee was down. That should have placed the ball down on the 1 or the half-foot line.
Question is, did the foot, as he rolled over, graze the goal line?
Yeah. Here's the point I'm saying. If the knee was down and he had contact or control of the ball, it's down right there.
Not sure he has control yet, and that's the difference.
Mm-hmm. Great point.
So if that foot is on the goal line, if it touches, right?
That's a good call there, partner. I'm looking at the knee.
And the difference is, you're right, it's control. It comes down to the control of the football. Watch it again.
you're right to identify there's two parts of this. Number one, the knee is down. You can see the rubber on the turf come up, but he doesn't have control of the ball.
Now, did he touch with the ball in his hands at all?
Yeah, well, it could be his hind parts, you know, that rolled over. One more look at it. Let's see if we can see.
Joseph Jones watching on the big screen as we watch with you.
He's no control.
By the time the hindquarters got to that goal line, the ball may have been on its way back up the field.
Which would have made it live, right?
He knows he's a Northwestern product. Smart guy. He's just not going to tell anybody what he thinks.
There's Todd Bowles in front of him, defensive coordinator. Well, you're talking about another unheralded piece of their success at Tampa Bay right there. Former teammate of mine, one of the great defensive coordinators in the National Football League. The headsets on.
Just warming everybody up for the regular season with some conversations in the replay booth. Clay Martin. Ryan Matoran is the replay official. This is what they're looking at. This is exactly what Clay Martin is seeing. And here's the ruling.
After review, number 53 released the ball before hitting the goal line. Therefore, the ball will be placed at the 5-yard line. First down. Please set the game clock to 2:31. 2:31. Tampa Bay will not be charged a timeout.
So it all came down to control.
Yep, it was about control. That's why I originally said the ball should be on about the 5 to 7 where it came out, where they originally spotted it.
David Culley is not going to be thrilled with that. He'll be less thrilled about that in a regular season game.
When they're firing real bullets. But, you know, again, he's trying to create a scenario where this is a game-like situation. Both sides understand that this is important. You know, it's human nature to kind of minimize preseason games, and well, when the regular season rolls around, people will forget what happened in the preseason quick as a hiccup.
He's not minimizing it at all. This is a huge moment for them. They have a lot of decisions to make, a lot of things still to work on. These two franchises right now are in different stages. Tampa Bay, of course, the defending Super Bowl champs, bringing all 22 starters back. And the Texans are trying to find their way to that level right now with a brand new roster.
Timeout. Tampa Bay, their first 30-second timeout. Please set the game clock to 2:27. 2:27.
Yeah, it's a rebuild, as you said, on the part of the Texans. And, of course, with Tampa Bay, it's about how do you sustain success after you have so many guys that achieve great things. And free agent market is really compelling, and some of them test the waters. It's not everyone that gets a chance to play with number 12.
Tampa Bay with the timeout. Now a word from BMW.
There's more to the ultimate driving machine than you might think. Multiple forces converging to create something uncontainable. Receive a credit of up to $3,500 through September 6th.
2nd down and 8 for Houston. Mills batted back into the end zone. The pass incomplete. Jeremiah Ledbetter. Second time we've called the former Arkansas Razorbacks name tonight.
Well, I know his pops is just grinning from ear to ear. I mean, he does a nice job of timing this, right? Gets those hands up at the last minute. Excellent job of understanding what you need to do with timing and getting your hands up to make a great play. When guys backed up, man, you salivate for those opportunities.
A game that's an opportunity for guys like Jeremiah Ledbetter on the Tampa side as well. You're not only auditioning for your team, you're auditioning for everybody else in the league in this final preseason game. 3rd down and 8 from the 7.
No pressure here, just a 4-man rush.
And Burkhead trying to find a crease, and he's dropped. Khalil Davis sets Nebraska on Nebraska crime as the former Husker Burkhead is dropped by the former Husker Khalil Davis.
You know, sometimes you can call a play into the teeth of a defense, but when you're just rushing
Tampa Bay calls their 2nd timeout of the half. 30 seconds.
That underneath coverage has a lot more people populated around it. It's a perfect defensive call for a screen play. You don't need pressure. Usually what beats and opens up a play like that is pressure. And you got 5 or more, which constitutes a blitz. Those extra 2 guys commit to the rush. Then you're going to get open on a screen. That was just a great defensive call, timed up perfectly.
4th down and 7. Texans will punt it away from deep in their own end. Tampa Bay will get it back with 1 timeout and the 2-minute warning. and what likely is going to be good field position with Darden standing at his 41.
Darden's coming back home a little bit, as I said before, an Aldine product out of the Aldine School District. Eisenhower is where he went to school. Speedy guy, kickoff returner. Arians fell in love with him, and Tom Brady's kind of adopted him. Got him in the 4th round.
Johnston uncorking a beauty. Darden all the way back to the 30-yard line. Trying to find some room to the edge, and he has terrific speed. Look out. Darden across the 45 and out of bounds. Johnston with a boomer. Darden returns it after the 61-yard punt, 17 yards. And Tampa to work with 2:04 to go in the first half.
And part of you can see how difficult it is. They try to directional kick it away from him, and he took it to the opposite side of the field. That's what speed will do. It's an equalizer. It's a difference maker. It's Darden.
Bruce Arians said this week it's his job to win. That return job for Tampa, and Cam Johnston
pinning his ears back.
Now you talk about speed. There's some speed. First down and 10. Gabbert short. Catch made by Bernard and down at the 49-yard line. Just a 3-yard pickup as we have reached the 2-minute warning officially with 1:59 remaining in the first half. 13-2 Tampa. Coming up on the Caesars Rewards halftime show, longtime Texans season ticket holders tell us what gives them that football feeling. And we'll give you a preview of what to expect when you come out for a game at NRG Stadium this season. That's coming up on the Caesars Rewards halftime show.
You don't need to tell these Texans fans. They understand, man. You know, football's a respite from the real imagined pressures of everyday life. And that guy, David Culley, if you're around him long enough, you know he's part of that excitement here in Texas now. He's just 100 miles an hour, very positive, took the right approach to this rebuild. I love some of the things he told us about, you know, a lot of teams in the league are still, despite COVID, going with these matchups against opponents in real time. He says, no, I wanted to focus on ourselves, you know, in this rebuild. I want to not expose ourselves so that and get familiar with this new defense and offense as well. Probably a good call.
2nd and 8 for Gabbert and Tampa Bay.
Just a 4-man rush, no pressure, playing safe.
Gabbert steps up, pressure comes, and the pocket collapsing as Jacob Martin holds him down. And this Texans defense, Spencer, has really stepped up of late. Last 3 drives, 8 plays, 6 yards coming into this possession.
Pressure from Martin without blitzing. When you can get pressure on the quarterback, and this is what he does, man, when he gets around that edge and dips and bends that arm, it makes people nervous. And it doesn't matter if it's a Minihue that time on the outside, the left tackle is one that's going to move. They get him to move. It's because those guys are screaming off the edge.
Josh Wells moving early at that left tackle spot.
Yeah, big number 72 felt the Minihue coming off the edge. He knows he's got long arms that can create separation.
False start. Offense number 72. 5-yard penalty. Houston has declined the 10-second runoff option.
And a lot of these times, these guys know that they're not telegraphing. Anytime you take a big kick step back like that, what you're telling them is that it's a deeper pass. In other words, it's probably between 10 and 12, maybe 15 yards. And tackles will take those big kick steps because they know they got to get out there and protect off the edge. And the quarterback is usually taking deep steps as well. So once you know that, you can get him on an island. You have a two-way go, come underneath. That'll make him really nervous.
And now movement up front again. Did the Texans give the yardage right back, or is Tampa going to back up 5 more?
That may. I thought it was Jaden Mickens on the outside.
False start. Number 85 offense.
Yep.
5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Called a partner, Jaden Mickens moving early, and so back Tampa up 5 more. And Bruce Arians fired up. Maybe preseason game number 3, but he's regular season form, Bruce Arians.
He's working it. But you can see Jaden's eyes peeking inside. King is inside playing defense against him. He's got him nervous. You know, he's mindful of it. He doesn't want to get crack blocked.
Third and 18, 4-man rush.
Very effective.
And off the hands of Bernard, incomplete. And it's 4th down, and Bernard slow to get up.
Talking about injury to insult. Not only does he fall down and looks like he tweaked his ankle, the ball spanked him right in the face, man. You got to pluck that one out of the air. For you youngsters that are out there, watch this ball climb up on him in his face mask, and he doesn't pluck the ball out of the air. The penalty on the play, but you got to be able to pluck this ball.
Number 64 offense. Penalty's been declined. 4th down.
Aaron Stinney called for the hold. Pass incomplete. Texans are going to get the football back with 2 timeouts and a minute 32 to work with.
Well, you see that sometimes with running backs, guys that are not really adept at catching the ball with their hands, which you got to do in this league. Old friend and teammate right there. Remember Todd McNair? Back in the day, great running back with the Kansas City Chiefs. Underrated, one of the more underrated 3rd down guys in the NFL. Running back coach for Tampa Bay now.
Pinions punt to Alex Erickson, waiting for the fair catch. He'll make it at the 15-yard line. So Davis Mills get a chance to work in the 2-minute drill with a minute 24 remaining on the clock and 2 timeouts after the 47-yard punt.
Well, let's see if the Texans can get some momentum back, man, and get it established. So Mills we know he's got the talent to do it, but Tampa Bay, give him credit. Todd Bowles has given him some mixed looks. He hadn't been able to execute as a result of that. Sometimes just missed timing, those over routes that are next level routes, man. You play action away and throw the ball across the field. Those are very difficult throws to make.
A little confusion for Tampa on that defensive line. Quick toss to QT, and the man who was confused running off and running back on, Benning Potoahi, after a lot of running, makes the tackle after a pickup of 5.
This is the 2nd time they tried to get the ball to QT quick on those little quick screen routes, trying to make an explosive play happen.
On 2nd and 5, Mills going to run. Mills to the 30 and slides at the 35-yard line. That's a Texans 1st down.
And if you remember, partner, I said this last week that, when that guy, he's a big guy, right? So when this opens up, it's a cover 2 look. He sees that everybody's occupied, and he just pulls it down and runs away.
Timeout. Houston, 30-second timeout. Please set the game clock to 58 seconds, 5-8.
It was a combination coverage, and he ran away from it.
1 timeout left after that scamper by Davis Mills. Texans down 13-2, trying to put points on the board before halftime. Tonight's fan cam is brought to you by Ticketmaster, and how happy are Texans fans to be back in the stadium enjoying some football. First preseason game in almost exactly 2 years at NRG Stadium. There's no preseason football at all last year. Bucks bring pressure. Mills steps up, throws to the sideline, and it's intercepted. 2nd pick thrown by Mills in the half. D. Delaney with the interception.
Similar throw to the opposite side of the field. Again, they like the matchups in terms of his arm and his ability to make those throws, but man, you got to understand the proximity of the defender. Got good protection up front. Everybody's taken care of. Back comes over and steps up for that little corner cat blitz. Ball is just underthrown. Protection is solid. Comes across the formation. Burkhead does a fine job of catching that unaccounted for rusher off the end. Had plenty of protection, just a bad throw.
Frustration for the rookie Davis Mills. Delaney getting congratulations. Now some coaching. Tim Kelly working with his young QB.
Now, always trying to find the positive thing there, and he's found it. And one positive I found was Burkhead coming over and protecting, recognizing that some of the 31 years that come to his aid in this situation.
Gabbard on 1st down at the 42. The toss to the 36-yard line. Catch made by Tyler Johnson. Christian Kirksey out there to make the stop. Tampa with 1 timeout remaining.
Texans with a single high safety look, and everybody's manned up.
And Gabbard complete to the 25-yard line. Cam Brate, tight end with the catch.
So Gabbard is trying to do his best Tom Brady impersonation. He'll clock it there, but he's looking for the individual matchups that he feels he can exploit. Texans staying with man coverage behind it. Lovie Smith trying to force the issue and say, hey, look, you got to be able to cover in this scheme. So here's a look at it here. You got inside pressure inside what we call a green dog. Linebackers are not blitzing unless the back releases. If he releases, he goes with him. got to find the matchup you like. Drake does a fine job of getting what he can.
2nd down and 10 after the spike at the 25-yard line.
It's cover 2.
Gabbert throws short again to his tight end Brait, and Brait down to the 18-yard line. Clock will continue to run. Gabbert will line it up. 7 seconds and counting. Gabbert going to run one more play. Throws incomplete, and with 2 seconds left in the half, Jose Borregales will come on and try to put 3 on the board for Tampa.
Gabbert was trying to get greedy there, but you almost got that one picked off. If you're fronting the coverage, that means your body is facing the quarterback, and you've got enough space between you and the defender. You can roll off of that if the ball is errant.
Borregales kicking tonight. Ryan Suckup's on the COVID list. A rookie from Miami. 36-yard try for Borregales. And the kick right down the middle. And Tampa will take a 16-2 lead into the locker room at the half. Tom Brady tonight, 154 yards in his time, 11 of 14. 7 passes of 10 yards or more before his night ended. And the Buccaneers with a 16-2 lead over the Houston Texans as halftime has arrived at NRG Stadium. Let's go to Drew Doherty for the halftime interview with David Culley, driven by BMW.
All right, Coach, what were some positives that you saw in the first half, and then conversely down 11? What do you want to correct afterwards?
Well, I thought we ran the ball very well. I thought our first group did a nice job of running the ball, which was an emphasis that we wanted to do. But the thing about it is 3 turnovers. Drew, we can't have 3 turnovers. That's bad football. And we didn't finish the drives that we had on offense. And 2 of the things we wanted to do going in here as offensive and defensive was to finish them when they got in the red zone, and us to finish the play when we got in the red zone. And we didn't do either of those.
And then what's going on with the kicker, and how has that affected how you're calling the game?
Well, obviously, they're 1 4th down. I probably would have kicked the ball. But, he's got a little pull muscle, and they want to chance at him, want to get him ready for Jacksonville.
All right, thanks so much. Good luck after the half.
Thank you.
Kihimi Fairbairn not in there tonight. We saw Justin Reed kick it off to start the game. 16-2 lead for Tampa. That's the end of the first half. Our score 16-2 Buccaneers. Drew Doherty's got the Caesars Rewards halftime show from NRG Stadium right after these messages. Inside NRG Stadium with Tampa Bay leading 16-2 over the Houston Texans. Alongside former Houston running back Spencer Tillman, I'm Kevin Kugler. Texans are down, but boy, one thing that was really encouraging if you're a Texans fan, the play of the defense over the last half of that first half, really clamping down on the Tampa Bay offense.
And especially in the second half, where the second quarter, they got pressure without blitzing. It was just a 4-man front that was able to do it. So the defense has acquitted themselves. They're lucky to be down just by 14 when you give the ball 3 times away in the first half. I think when you're dealing with the defending champions, it doesn't matter if Tom Brady played a quarter, 2 quarters or not. You're lucky to be within 14 if you've given him 3 opportunities. So he's been firm in the first half, to be sure. And then ultimately on offense, I think, you look at what the Texans have done, 44 yards from Mark Ingram. That was solid, but they could do better.
Well, let's check our game stats brought to you by Reliant. And when you look at those game stats from the first half, it was a passing attack for Tampa. It was a rushing attack for the Houston Texans. And it's one thing that's going to make David Culley happy is that they've been able to run the ball. We've seen Ingram running the football a little bit, and that's one thing that the Texans not only have emphasized all preseason, Spencer, they're going to emphasize during the regular season as well.
Yeah, and imagine if you can possess the ball with a lead. So heretofore, the Texans have been able to score first based on those turnovers that they were able to generate on the defensive side of the ball. But when you're down, you're forced into a kind of a hand behind your back scenario where you know you've got to pass it and your opponents know you've got to pass it. So they can afford to gamble a little bit more than they typically would. And I think that's netted the 3 turnovers, at least responsible for most of them. So again, some throws that typically Davis Mills would be able to make across field. They were almost mirror interceptions that he had, not able to get the ball versus man coverage to the destination that he wanted it to. So got to clean that up and see if they can come out in the second half and push it down vertically.
Saw Trayvon Smith back, awaiting this second half kickoff presented by Xfinity, proud partner of the Houston Texans. Smith field this one 8 yards deep, and out he comes. Tremon Smith trying to make a play to start the second half, and Smith out to the 25-yard line. So right where he would have been had he taken a knee, but a nice solid return for Tremon Smith. And the Texans will start with Davis Mills back at quarterback from their 25-yard line.
I love the fact that he was able to understand what he did. I don't know about the decision to come out, but what he did is just slow played and allowed that funnel to converge on him, and then he took it where fewer bodies were. If you're covering and you're running all out, man, it's tough to change direction when a guy slow plays it like that and what we call stem and then bounce it to the outside. That's an excellent job of making the most. That probably was a bad decision to bring it out.
From the 25 on first down. Pressure coming. Mills pass batted down at the line of scrimmage, and it brings up second down.
Yeah. You know, he's got to be mindful, fully engaged in understanding the timing of these defensive players. When those hands go up, you know, you can't do anything about that, but maybe a liver presence in the pocket to understand where that pressure is coming from, because those guys are going to get their hands up.
That time Patrick O'Connor from Eastern Michigan.
He averaged 6'4", man. He's not a short guy. He's got plenty of height to get that ball up and over.
Scotty Phillips, the running back, on 2nd and 10. His first carry of the night. A giant hole on the outside, and Phillips down the sideline, making the most of his first carry. Out of bounds inside the Tampa 40 at the 39.
Love Phillips, man, on this play right here. And you're talking about dialing it up at the right time. It was a corner cat blitz that comes from this side right here. Tight end Akins does a nice job of just letting him wheel on around it. And you're running where they vacated the area. You couldn't have called a more perfect play on that one. And here's a guy that's battling for one of those roster spots in the special teams. Hey, the way he's been looking in game 1 against Green Bay, scoring against that, and then this run, this guy's competing for time, man.
Officially 34 yards as they spot him out at the 41. Play action. Phillips picking up the pressure. Mills throws it short and incomplete. Wide of Farrell Brown. But on that play, Spencer, you're going to look at Scotty Phillips in a different way. You're going to look at him as a pass protector, and he did pick up that pressure on the outside.
And I love that it came in back-to-back plays, because a lot of times with younger players, I know this is year 2 for him, you go back against that, have a good run, and then you are a liability in the protection game. But you can see him come back to this side over here. Watch him step up and get the outside rush. That's a linebacker, folks. He stands him up vertically and does a nice job of finishing. Quarterback feels the pressure, moves away from it. That's an excellent job of protecting the quarterback and giving him an opportunity to live another day.
Yeah, stood up KJ Britt, the rookie from Auburn, into traffic, and that pass broken up, trying to fit it into Jordan Akins, but no way to get it past Grant Stewart, and it's third down.
Mills a little bit frustrated again twice on this drive when guys have been able to get hands on the ball. And a lot of times quarterbacks are not looking exactly where they want to go, but they're not looking at where the defensive line is.
Our 1st and 10 line this quarter is brought to you by BHP, and it's 3rd and 10 for the Texans at the 41 of Tampa Bay. Rex Burkhead, the running back, on 3rd down. Bucks rush 4. Mills throws. Open is Erickson. Hangs on through contact. That's a first down at the Tampa Bay 24-yard line.
D. Delaney back there covering number 30. And I want to say great job of hanging on to this ball with immediate pressure right behind you. And he got dinged a little bit, so he's coming out of the game. Excellent protection. Double team at number 9, which has been a nightmare all night long. But Delaney delivering a shot. Erickson hanging on to it. Understanding where the pressure, moving the footwork, excellent in the pocket. Mills hangs in there and finishes.
17-yard gain to the 24. And a big conversion for the Texans. Movement up front should be a free play. They're going to stop it. It was the rookie Tryon Shoyinka that moved, but did he come across before movement on the offensive line?
Neutral zone infraction. Number 9, defense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
He just couldn't hold his water off that outside edge, and that's Beck over there blocking him. And I'll tell you what, man, we talked about him at the top of the show. He has done a fantastic job out there on that edge against a live lit fuse, racing to a point to explode is number 9. He is something special. He's going to be a nightmare for tackles for many years to come for Tampa Bay or whoever he ends up playing with.
1st and 5 at the 19 now. Here's Phillips. And there he is again. You talked about the rookie. And Tryon Shoyinka with another tackle. Phillips trying to get to the edge, and he'll lose 2 to the 21.
Shoyinka is just a freak athlete, man. He played at Washington, and, you know, Jimmy Lake, their defensive coordinator, for many, many years had an affinity for attacking offenses that were outstanding. And he did it with athletic guys. And, you know, in fact, he was the only defensive coordinator that was able to shut out Mike Leach. You know, Mike Leach never beat him in that spread concept that he had. And a lot of it had to do with the athleticism that he had on that defensive team.
2nd and 7 now back at the 21. Just a 3-man rush for Tampa, dropping 8 and finding the open man is Mills. It's Chris Moore who's got a first down at the 9.
Take what they give you. Soft spot in this zone coverage, and Mills did a fine job of not trying to get more. You got 3, ultimately, that you're rushing a 3 front. You got 5 to block their 3, so you like the numbers there. Just check it down and get plus yardage. Wonderful job of just taking what's there in the middle of the field. 3-man rush, you're going to have natural gaps in that. Again, no threat of the ball being batted down when you've got one fewer guy in the middle.
1st and goal at the 9.
Now they're going to a 3-man front, but number 9's on the edge again.
It's Phillips. Tried to jump it back to the left. There's some power at the end of that run. Javon Hagan along for the ride down to the 5.
Phillips finishing, man. I love this. And I guess in the opener against Green Bay, he had a nice little touchdown run inside, like 5 or 7 yards or whatever it was. And he shows you low man wins. It's about pad level. Look at that leg drive. Finishing, falling forward. And I love to see these young guys aspiring and doing all they can to make this team, man. You know who the starting 4 are going to be, or the 4 that are anchoring this team. But Buddy Howell is another one that may get some look before it's over.
On 2nd and goal, Mills looking for the back corner to the tallest receiver on the team, Nico Collins. Cannot pull it in.
Yeah, that's why you got a Nico Collins, man. You'd love to get that close formation in where you got a lot of room to work with. And Nico, again, when you get those tight formations where you got enough room to slide out and fade to that outside with some room to give, you got to make those catches. And he's athletic enough to do it. I mean, I've seen him in practice make that catch right there. You know, sometimes when it's almost too easy, it's tougher to catch. And he knows, he's got a little smile on his face. If you touch it, I got a chance to make it. He's got all the physical tools and skills to do it, man.
10th play of this drive for the Texans. That's Burkhead motioning into the backfield. Mills will give to Burkhead, and Burkhead fights his way down to the 1. Wow. Remember, Fairbairn out tonight. David Culley holding him out for precautionary reasons to make sure he's healthy for the regular season. So expect a 4th down try here.
Yeah, one of 4 options that the Texans have at running back. Burkhead, 31 years of age, man. He's running like a little spry youngster there.
Bengals took him in the 6th round in 2013. Rex Burkhead had a tremendous career at the University of Nebraska. They could have used him today. 4th and goal at the 1-yard line.
Ouch. I love him shifting over, seeing where the threat's coming from. Inside run.
And Burkhead lunging for the goal line with K.J. Britt around the ankles. He didn't get in. And the rookie from Auburn makes the tackle. And the Texans are held out of the end zone inside the 1.
Well, I love the decision, but, you know, again, it's one of those calls where you...
Ruling on the field as the run was short of the goal line. Tampa Bay takes over on downs. Timeout.
But I like the aggressiveness of the call. Again, you've shown you can possess the ball. The game is not going to necessarily get out of hand unless you give up turnovers, which is what you've done tonight. I love the call.
1-on-1. Britt, the rookie, gets the better of the veteran. Texans defense looking for their 2nd safety of the night here as Tampa will start inside the 1-yard line with Kyle Trask in at quarterback. The rookie from Florida turns, and on 1st down, the give to Keyshawn Vaughn to get a little breathing room out to the 4.
Texans inviting Keyshawn Vaughn to run in that little soft A gap because they left it uncovered. It really, from an integrity standpoint, probably shouldn't have defended it that way.
Well, this defense has been strong of late. 22 yards allowed on the last 5 drives, an interception and a safety tonight as well. 2nd and 7 at the 4-yard line.
I just love the fact that they've been able to get pressure without blitzing.
Trask, 3-step drop from the end zone to the sideline. Catch is made at the 10. Couple of nice moves by Tyler Johnson. And Johnson, who's one of the best wide receivers in the University of Minnesota history, out to the 14.
Rowing the boat here, man. He does a nice job of showing you his athleticism after the catch down here. And it's significant because the Texans threw him a little bit of a tricky coverage. But you can look at Kyle Trask, who's right down the road here, Houston Texans. An outstanding quarterback, gifted guy at Florida, just tremendous arm, physical presence. He's a winner, competitor. Manville.
69 career touchdowns in Florida, good for 6th in school history. They've had a few passers with the Gators. That's a bobbled handoff. The ball loose at the 10-yard line. Did the Texans pounce on it? They did. And a fumbled exchange ends up with Houston.
That's a shame for Kyle Trask, but the Texans, that's what we talked about a minute ago, the way they've been playing, generate a turnover, and all of a sudden now Rex Burkhead and company get a chance to maybe score with 4 fresh downs. Trask on the stretch play, just a poor exchange, and again, that's unfortunate.
Kamud Grugier-Hill on the bottom of that pile ends up with a football.
You know, credit the Texans. Grugier-Hill, as you pointed out, just piercing that line, that front plane on the opposite side of the line of scrimmage. Back didn't even want to get the handoff, man.
1st and 10 at the 11-yard line. Defense gets the ball back. Can the Texans cash in? Scotty Phillips in the backfield with Davis Mills. Mills to Collins, and Nico Collins barrels in for the touchdown.
Quick slant. I used to see the guy opposite of Jerry Rice, John Taylor, do this all the time. Big body, big presence, 6'4", present those numbers, those eyes are flashing. No need to play off or look off anybody. That's where I'm going, to Nico Collins, and he pays it off. Big
Play
frame.
clock should be frozen at 20 seconds. 2-0.
And see, at some point, you got to help what they call banjo coverage underneath, and then maybe get a cover guy and then bracket him on either side. And when you do that, it's going to open up somebody else. So the quarterback, Davis Mills, will get to the point where he'll see that community of players coming to defend him, and then he'll be able to progress to the next progression. But with number 12 playing the way he's playing, you don't have to worry about it.
Going for 2, and then Fairbairn out tonight. So really no good kicking option. 2-point try.
Go away from the pressure.
Mills finds QT, and Kiki QT with 2. And the Texans turn the fumble into 8. 6 of them on this toss, from Mills to Collins. And the rookie-to-rookie connection gets the Texans right back into it. The scoreboard this quarter is brought to you by BMW, and it shows the Texans right back into this one after they put 8 on the board, the touchdown and the 2-point conversion. And Lovie Smith's defense, he wants takeaways. Well, points off those takeaways, 17 last week against Dallas, all 10 off takeaways for Lovie Smith's defense tonight.
The latest one, Grugier-Hill, was playing a key role in that, and they paid it off this time. And he's got a lot to smile about, because no matter who you're playing, first-line players, second-line players, generating turnovers is about doing what he wants to do, tack the football.
Justin Reed kicking off for the 2nd time tonight. Good kickoff from the 4-yard line. Going to work is Vaughn, and Vaughn, the ball's out. The ball is out at the 22-yard line. Texans pointing in that direction again. Officials will unstack the pile and see who ends up with that football. It'll be Tampa Bay football.
You talk about a 2-for-1. How about that? The guy that's kicking it gets his helmet in there and tags him. Just Reed, like he's playing at that free safety position. Ow. Boom. That's nice. He got in there a piece of it. I think it was somebody else darting in, but how about Reed sticking his nose in there right after kicking off, man? That's pretty darn impressive.
You know who else had a piece of that is Rasul Douglas, who was just signed this week after the Raiders cut him.
Golly.
Making an impact 3 days after he arrived in Houston.
That's pretty cool, man.
From the 22 on 1st down, it's Vaughn, and Vaughn going nowhere. 2nd down coming up. Tackle by Vincent Taylor.
Benson playing laterally around the line of scrimmage. And again, you love to see it. The Texans are very aggressive in that front, and that's a hallmark of how they want to play this 4-3 scheme. And it has been consistent throughout these three preseason games so far this year.
Mickens and Grayson to the top of the screen. That's Mickens in motion. Trask with a four-man rush. Nobody open. Steps up now over the middle. He finds an open man, and down to the 43-yard line goes Cyril Grayson, former LSU Tiger, who has bounced around the NFL with Seattle, Indy, was a Texan for a few minutes, Chicago, New Orleans, Dallas, and now Tampa.
Bell Hewitt defending here. It does a nice job with handling the games and the deals in the middle. Footwork excellent. Hewitt on the back end of this one saves it from that inside position. But nice job of navigating in the pocket with the pressure.
Grayson was a track and field athlete at LSU, not a footballer. Four-time NCAA champion on the track. Trying to get to the edge, breaking the tackle of Jordan Jenkins and getting a yard or two extra is Keyshawn Vaughn.
Well, that's been the theme of this drive. Jordan Jenkins really darting in there and seizing those gaps. Just so active and consistent with their play are these Texans in the front four and the linebackers.
Second down and 6. Going to be some tough decisions to make. Cut downs have to be done by Tuesday. You've got to have the roster down to 53.
Yeah, Texans signed 6 free agents in the linebacking core, and they've been impressive. All of them battling.
Second and 6. Trask in the pocket over the middle finds Mickens. And Jaden Mickens, the former Washington Husky, down to the Texans 46 in the arms of Jonathan Owens.
Tay Davis trying to defend there, and Owens is on the back end as well. But for the most part, the Texans are making them earn this drive, and they're doing a fine job of getting pressure on the quarterback. Just got to keep that pressure up.
With Jonathan Owens yesterday celebrating an anniversary with his girlfriend Simone Biles. 46-yard line of Houston on first down and 10. Trask pumps. Now buying time, backpedals, got a man open, and down to the 20-yard line is Jalen Darden. That's Kyle Trask buying time and making a play.
Bell Hewitt, I think maybe just gave up on that ball. Sometimes when you're tracking it, you can see his eyes. He kind of gives up on it. You've got to, you know, if you're going to play that inside position, you've got to run and stay with it. You can't give up on it. Make a play. That's that deep third of the field, whether it's divided up in quarters concepts or a third of the field, it's yours as that inside linebacker, man. You got to bail, and that drop has got to be deep.
At the Texans 20 on first down.
4-man.
Trask open, touchdown to the tight end, Cody McElroy.
Well, it's a reoccurring theme. We've seen it where against the coverage, when you got too high, the weak point of that scheme is the hash marks. If you got a tight end that can avoid it, and you just got 1, 2, 3, 4 guys that you're rushing, you're going to put pressure on your linebackers to cover. It's Tay Davis and company trying to cover from the spot.
McElroy, a 28-year-old first-year player. He was a baseball guy, drafted in the 19th round by the Braves in 2014, spent a year in the minors. Played at Southeastern Oklahoma.
Sounds like a Chris Winkie kind of thing.
Yeah. Extra point good, and it's 23-10. Tampa Bay with 5:13 to go in the third in Houston. Buccaneers answer back. Get a taste of the Lux experience with a Houston Texans single game suite. A limited number are available for big games, including the Patriots and the Seahawks. You can enjoy the game in a private environment with your guests and world-class food and beverage offerings. Visit our website to find out more. It's really a good way to watch a game. I'll just say that.
Absolutely. Tavier Thomas, man, getting a little look-see here. No. Thought he was in there, but
Tremon Smith, the deep man.
Yeah.
Smith will watch this one go through the end zone for the touchback. 23-10, Tampa Bay. Texans out to the 25. Want to win season tickets to the Houston Texans home games this season? It's easy. Just keep watching the game. We'll announce the Mattress Firm Rising Star during the fourth quarter. When you hear it, visit abc13.com and enter the Rising Star's name. You could win season tickets, parking, and more for the 2021 season.
You know, it's really tempting to just look at the scoreboard and say, well, it's tough. Who's the Rising Star? Well, you got to go inside the game to figure out exactly what took place. And there are individual battles that are taking place that there's some winning performance in today. And I've got my eyes zeroed in on a couple of them.
It's a broadcast tease, kids. First down and 10 at the 25. Jordan Vesey with the catch as Mills fits that one in at the 31-yard line. The former Houston Cougar, Grant Stewart, on the tackle.
CJ Precise. And they're defending, man. You got to. That's what a banjo coverage look like. You got guys on either side. Vesey takes a big shot there, man. Close proximity. When you see defenders around you, ball security is what you got to think first and foremost.
Brevin Jordan, the tight end, in motion on second down. Scotty Phillips, the running back. It'll be Phillips who gets the carry, trying to find a little room, and he does. That's a good run by Phillips for the first down to the 39, an 8-yard pickup.
Yeah, well, he's been good tonight, man. Instinctive run there in close quarters, and then he got those little choppy feet, right? Those choppy feet, but he gets in traffic to keep his feet underneath him moving forward. He shortens his stride so as to keep his balance going forward. And I've seen him in open space with longer strides. This guy's really versatile as a runner.
Jordan again, the motion man from the 39 on first down. It'll be Phillips again, a little counter. Got a block, nice balance. Phillips first down into Tampa territory to the 46-yard line. 15 more for Scotty Phillips.
I'll tell you what, this looks like an old Arian Foster type style here. The little counter, patience, wearing that old 27 that he had for a while there. Comes through there, not in that category, but he's too young and obviously not as athletic as he was. But man, to show you athleticism and to feel the pressure and keep that left hand free to get a couple of extra yards with a stiff arm, I'm impressed with him.
The least experienced running back in that deep running back room. Only 8 NFL games played for Scotty Phillips. From the 47, Phillips again, third straight carry, another opening. Phillips with a stiff arm at the end of the run and out of bounds at the 35. 12 more for Scotty Phillips.
Yeah, he's got a little nasty to him, man. As he finishes, watch this guy's stretch play. He's ball security, puts it high and tight, and then just pops him right there in the chest, man. I love that. You got to come correct. Antonio Hamilton playing that cornerback position. This fella means business, man.
Mark Ingram over to congratulate the young back after another good run.
Marcus said, let me get a little bit of this. The 11-year veteran wants to get back in there, man.
From the 35, fourth consecutive carry for Phillips, and Phillips burrows his way to the 33, pickup of 2. "36 yards on the ground on this drive for Scotty Phillips, who just tapped his helmet and said, I'm ready to go and get a breather.
Yeah, he's a little winded right now. But, man, listen, the greatest performances, we always talk about glory is found at the limits of your performance. When you're tired, you don't think you can go, this is when you earn your keep right here in the National Football League.
From the 33, empty backfield on 2nd and 8. Four-man rush. Mills will step up and run. Mills dives forward to the 29. 4-yard scramble for Davis Mills. And now a 3rd and 4 for the Texans.
And partner, I know why they don't want to expose him unnecessarily to risk, because he's not the mobilest guy out there. But versus a 4-man rush, there's going to be natural opportunities for him to release. And as he matures, he will understand that. If you've got zone coverage, likely not do that. If you got man and guys are turning and running away, before they recognize you take off, you've got at least 4, 5, 6, 7-yard gain. So give him the discretion to be able to read the coverage and then make that choice.
Buddy Howell in the backfield for the first time. Howell with his first carry, and Howell dropped by Stewart short of the first down.
Texans got to be careful of telegraphing their alignment. You know that play was coming back inside, because that right side of that Texan line was about a yard off of the ball. And that's usually what a tackle or a guard will do if they intend to pull the opposite direction. And believe me, a defender can recognize that and see it. The smart ones understand, and they kind of get a jump on you.
Heavy formation, 3 tight ends on the right side of the line. On 4th down and 2. Mills off play action, floating it deep for Jordan, and Brevin Jordan cannot catch up to that one, and the Texans are turned away on 4th down.
Yeah, pressure got to Mills on that one, and problematic. Did the best to get it away. At least he didn't turn it over.
Davis Mills and the Texans head to the sidelines, down 13. 39 seconds to go in quarter number 3. Tampa Bay 23, Houston 10. Alongside Spencer Tillman, I'm Kevin Kugler. Drew Doherty with us on the sidelines. The Texans regular season kickoff game is Sunday, September 12th at noon. Don't miss your chance to be a part of the best game day atmosphere. Tailgating, giveaways, terrific food options, so much more. Visit HoustonTexans.com/tickets to experience that football feeling. Kyle Trask back to work, was 4 for 4 for 74 yards on the last Tampa Bay possession. Now Trask back to the air again, and he's going deep down the sidelines. One-on-one coverage, and it's batted away. You saw Tremon Smith out there working against Cyril Grayson, and it's 2nd and 10.
Trask showing you some of that big arm that he demonstrated as a Florida Gator, man. And Mineville's finest, man. He's showing you he's got it. And I love to see this defense right here, because that's exactly what you need from this Houston Texans end on the back end, because they went after Tremon Smith, did the Dallas Cowboys last week, and he struggled a little bit. This after excellent performances in the first 2 preseason games. Now he's acquitting himself, and that's what you want to see. How does he respond to the difficult situation that he found himself in last week?
2nd and 10 at the 27. Texans rush 4. Trask to the sideline, open, and the ball is out, loose on that sideline, and scooped back up at the 42 by Travis Johnson.
And so in successive plays, you see them go after the same
out of bounds before fumbling the ball.
Successive plays as the ball. We take another look at Trask's big arm right here. He throws it exactly where the receiver needs to get it. It comes out. It's clearly a fumble, but it's out of bounds. But again, talking about Smith, I mean, here's a guy that when you get something on film that someone feels, an offensive or defensive coordinator feels they can exploit, they're going to come after you from a defensive standpoint and an offensive standpoint.
First down and 10 at the 41-yard line, and Tampa just gets the snap off. One more play in the quarter. The give to Keyshawn Vaughn, and Vaughn from the 41 out to the 46. 5-yard gain takes us to the end of quarter number 3 here in Houston. One more quarter in the preseason as the Houston Texans try to rally to close an undefeated preseason, down 23-10 to the defending Super Bowl champs. Tonight's Fan Cam is brought to you by Ticketmaster. Having some fun at the old ballpark, celebrating the return of football to NRG Stadium here in Houston. Texans back. Final preseason tilt before Jacksonville's in town on September 12th to start the regular season. And nothing doing. Penetration into the backfield from Vincent Taylor. And nowhere to go for Keyshawn Vaughn.
Well, that front four is awesome. It doesn't matter who's in that rotation. Vincent Taylor comes down that line of scrimmage, man. He is hell-bent for election. You see them come down here and just play on the opposite side of the line of scrimmage. That's what you're looking for, a guy that can push that line of scrimmage and make that read difficult for the would-be runner. He's had a great camp and shows you that focus, man. He's a talented young man.
3rd and 7 at the 44.
Four-man rush.
Pocket collapsing, ball is out. The ball stripped out of the hands of Kyle Trask, and the Texans get another takeaway.
Well, I'm telling you what, they are so dependable with this rush. Walker's involved in that one there, number 44. Kyle Trask, Manville's finest. Walker says, hey, look, I'm coming off that edge. Does a nice job of collapsing those hands and then getting them in there so he can make an outstanding play. Brandon Walton. Actually, Josh Wells on the tackle spot was the one that he beat on that edge, showing you the speed. But another turnover, as you said, partner, once again. This defense is outstanding.
Marcus Walker making a big play. 6'4", 280-pounder out of Florida State. And the Texans offense back to work in Tampa territory. Off play action. Mills looking deep. Got a man at the 20-yard line, and Chris Moore nudged out just shy of the 10.
That's some of Tim Kelly's creativity right there. Number one, you got to have two things working. Protection, number one. Big quarterback stands in the pocket off of play action, so those hands kind of come down when you see that, because those big defensive linemen get squat and ready to tackle somebody, and so they're not batting things down. It's an excellent play selection down here. Now inside the red zone. Tim Kelly doing a fine job of calling quality plays.
Phillips and Quessenberry in the backfield. There's Moore in motion.
Come on that right side pulling.
From the 11, play action. Mills in trouble, and he'll throw this one to the back of the end zone. Moore out of bounds as he makes the catch, and it'll bring up second down.
Just a little bit more patient. He had the guy open and just put a little bit too much on it. Nice job of adjusting on the route and then trying to beat him where he was with Moore. The pressure just got to him. You can see again, arm over, guys up front. He steps in the pocket, keeps his eyes up downfield. That's a quality move I'd like to see him do consistently, but just put a little less on it. You got to score.
Counter to Phillips, and yanked down from behind by Hamilton at the 9-yard line. Darius Hamilton got him right around the neck.
And Alter Feinhorn was trying to block him on the outside, number 77, and it's just really difficult, man, when you got a guy that can bend and turn the edge like that. Got Phillips down and trying to protect him, but couldn't do it.
3rd down and 8 from the 9. Again, no Fairbairn, so you figure this is 4-down territory here. North Texas product. Darius Hamilton, 17 career sacks in 51 games at North Texas.
They're going to play safe, 3 deep. Let's see if he has patience.
Mills looking for the sideline and off target for Chris Moore.
You know, I would like to see the Texans go vertical on that. You know, they're playing a fairly safe coverage with 3 across on the back end, and Tim stays with something that's safe. But I think the way you exploit that is attack it vertically. You guys can come open. You've demonstrated that you can protect.
Can get a 1st down at the 1. There's 1 yard later. They'd be in the end zone for 6. It's 4th and 8. Mills steps up, throwing for the end zone. Oh, he fits it into Vesey for the touchdown.
You know, the thing I like about this, Vesey's going to get it, but you got it away from the trip side. He steps up, and he actually has to step and cross over, which actually helps put more momentum on the ball when you do it. It's not a hitch move. It's a skip and then throw. It's throwing with momentum to the side that you're releasing to, which allows you to get a little bit more on the football. And, boy, it went into Vesey, and he caught it. He tried to put that ball through his pads, and he almost did, but Vesey, sure-handed, had no choice but to catch that one, man. Money.
And the 2-point try. Again, no kicking game tonight. Mills floats it and batted away. Looking for Vesey, and good defense from D. Delaney.
D. Delaney's been money all night long, and when you're manned up out there, man, that's what they pay you for, to make those plays. But Vesey says, hey, I'm going to make this play to help our cause, and let's spin it and see if we can turn this thing around.
Our scoreboard this quarter is brought to you by Papa John's Houston. Tampa Bay with a 23-16 lead after the touchdown pass. Jordan Vesey talking it over on the sidelines. And this Texans team, 5-play, 39-yard drive, 16 points off turnovers tonight. It's takeaways for Lovie Smith. 10 takeaways for the Texans in the preseason in 3 games. They had 9 in 16 regular season games this year as the
kickoff
Justin Reed kickoff goes out.
Kicking team. Ball will be placed at the 40-yard line. First down.
That's the first errant kickoff tonight for the Texans safety who's handling kicking duties.
You know, Lovie Smith is really playing out a mantra that we heard a lot last year with the old regime. It was complimentary football. Well, in the strictest sense, this is complimentary football as we look at Reed, who's done a wonderful job of kicking the ball, but that one needed to get a little bit further deeper. Draws the flag instead, but he's done a nice job. Had a big hit, too, on one of them as well.
That was a surprise to all of us. You and I stood up here and watched Ka'imi Fairbairn warm up and hit one from 53 in the pregame. First and 10 at the 40-yard line. Trask off play action, throws it short. He's got his tight end who's out to the 47-yard line. Tanner Hudson with good yardage on first down. Jonathan Owens out there to make the stop.
You know, Trask is such a talented quarterback. I remember he played behind Derek King at Houston when he was here. He's just a fantastic skilled guy, but everywhere he's been behind folks. I remember Felipe Franks and Luke Del Rio at Florida. He's always been behind them, but now he gets an opportunity to demonstrate his skill set. He's got talent. There's no question about that.
2nd and 3 at the 47-yard line. And the give is to Vaughn. Picks his way into Texans territory, and he's got a first down to the 47-yard line. Well, Drew Doherty standing by with new Texans kicker, and I guess he'll play some safety too, Justin Reed.
He's the hardest working man in the business tonight. Justin, how you doing? Let's talk about this game defensively. What did you see early on when you were in there?
Early on, I mean, we started out great on the first series, but then the next two series, Tom Brady was being TB12, man. He came out and made some really good throws. They tempoed us a little bit, got us a little bit on their heels. So we just got to find a way to recover from that and continue to lock down and play football. I feel like we settled down later into the first quarter and then into the second quarter. But this will be great for us as a defense. We're playing against the best guy in football, in the history of football. So being able to learn from these plays and what he put on the field is going to be huge for us going forward.
All right, let's talk about the big picture. You and the rest of your defensive mates and the defensive coaching staff, just about everybody in the building, excited about what you all have been able to do getting the turnovers. But you all are pretty confident that can carry over to the regular season, right?
Yeah, absolutely, man. We preach just getting the ball out. I mean, Trey just had a punch out earlier in the series. The guy was lucky that he actually stepped out of bounds accidentally. So as long as we keep that mentality, keep being aggressive, keep chasing the ball, our D-line had hunting after the quarterback, and we're going to make those explosive plays that we need.
What's better about you this year as a safety?
Oh, man, just the confidence. Like, everything is moving so slowly in the back end. I feel like my reads are extremely clear, and I feel like I'm just free back there to play football, be aggressive, and go make some plays.
All right, I know you are a great soccer player. You grew up in Louisiana playing. You played at a pretty high level. So you get the call to kick. You were prepared for this, right? This didn't come out of left field, did it?
Honestly, it's a dream come true. I wish I could have that last one back. I feel sick about it. But other than that, man, I've been wanting to do this my entire career. I tried to do it in college, never had the opportunity. So getting the opportunity to do that today has been a dream, man. I've had a blast. Me and the refs are having a great time on the field with it, so it's been a ton of fun.
All right, I'm not going to start a kicker controversy, but I'm going to end this by saying I've never seen Ka'imi Fairbairn punch out a fumble like you did.
Hey, Ka'imi is definitely the better kicker, as evident about what I just did on that last play. But if we ever want to do something special in the season now, give the offense, give the other team something to prepare for, I'm not opposed to going down and kicking and making a tackle.
Good to know. Justin Reed, good luck this season. Thanks for the time.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Every kicker watching this is nodding their collective heads right now saying, see, everybody wants to be us. Everybody wants to be a kicker.
Well, they say kickers, no matter what level, are eccentric guys. And I'm telling you what, that guy right there is special, man. He's talented, good-looking guy, competitive, physical. I just love him. His future's bright no matter what he decides to do.
Kickers are people too, Spencer. Trask under pressure. Down he goes. Vincent Taylor leading the charge.
Vincent Taylor active on the last series as well, number 96, a workmanlike attitude all camp long. And watch him again here, just working a four-man game to the outside. Plays it with integrity, and he stays home. You know, I love how he breaks down at the last minute to counter himself, because Trask, despite his size, is a pretty nifty guy. Lopez in there helping out. Those guys coming to the party to make an outstanding play. Yeah, it's just running through your mind all night long, baby. He must be tired because he's running through your mind.
Third down and 18. Trask steps up. Catch is made short of the first down at the 31-yard line. down goes Cody McElroy there in the arms of Tay Davis.
Tay Davis closing. I think he got a little sting at him. He's got that head down a little bit, that right arm. You know, usually when the guys get dinged like that, I think he's coming off. I think he's soldiering it pretty well. He got been stunned a little bit. Yeah. He'll be all right, though. Shake it off, brother.
49-yard field goal try. Jose Borregales.
Oh, nice.
Blocked.
That's what I'm talking about.
Texans get a special teams play and looking for room down the sidelines to the 30-yard line.
Javier Thomas, man, I can tell you, whether Brooks is outside helping him as well. This is how you come off the edge and take the ball off the toe. I mean, this is textbook right here, man. Watch him extend his arms off the out. Thomas does a nice job of diving, but he doesn't really do the Superman where you throw your hands up in the air, because that takes away the trajectory that you need. You extend your arms out and go and get that ball. A lot of guys will try to dive out there and look, but when you raise your arms up, it takes you off the point of the ball. It's almost counterintuitive. You want to lower your hands to take it off the foot. That's pretty good test special teams right there, man. That's the old sound that everybody hates to hear, the poo-poo.
30-yard return by Brooks after the Thomas block from the 30-yard line. Mills and the Texans offense to work. And Mills on the sideline. VC fast becoming his favorite target, out of bounds at the 24.
Here's VC again. Mills, his eyes are going right there right now. You know, one of the things I haven't seen a lot from him is just to have secondary, third reads in his levels. He's eyeing who he wants to go to. It's sound. I get it why you're doing it, but when he grows, he'll be able to look off coverage and then look people open, which will be the next evolution of his game.
From the 24, 2nd and 4, Buddy Howell trying to bounce it to the outside. Really nice defensive play by Jeremiah Ledbetter. We called his name a lot tonight.
Yeah, he's had 3 quality tackles, 2 of them behind the line of scrimmage, and that was the latest one. You know, that speed comes from those genes his father had as a fullback in Oklahoma. You know, back in the days, the fullbacks were just basically another back with the quarterback. We had 4 of them in the backfield. That guy right there was a beast, man. His dad was a special player. Contributed a lot to those Barry Switzer coach teams back in the day.
Well, you remember those days when Nebraska and Oklahoma played every year. Roger Craig was a fullback for Nebraska in those days.
Mike Rozier.
3rd and 6 at the 26. Mills toss off the fingertips of VC. Led him just a little bit too far, and it's 4th down.
Yeah, that's great perspective. That's exactly what happened. He put it out there in front of him. And again, you don't want to get your guy nailed. It's a nice job on the slant route. Arms are out there, but that safety's lingering out in front of him. You got to be careful. Javon Hogan, number 34, was there as VC comes off limping a little bit. Not sure exactly where that collision happened, but quarterback wants to take care of his receiver, and you do that by reading the coverage, understanding how close that safety is. If you're running a slant into that, you know he's going to take some punishment. You maybe put that on his back shoulder.
Alex Erickson in, top of the screen. QT and Moore to the bottom of the screen on 4th down. Mills, backside pressure, ball pops out. It is called a fumble on the field. It's scooped up by Elijah Ponder. Either way, it's going to be Tampa Bay football as they turn the Texans away on 4th down.
I think that was Carlton Davis III that came in there and got a hand.
It's a fumble recovered by the defense. They will take over on down. Timeout.
Mills looking to see what happened there as the Texans cough it up on 4th. Fans, we asked you earlier in the game to use hashtag #ThatFootballFeeling to show your Texans spirit. Some of the photos you've sent us tonight. Amber, enjoying that football feeling tonight. Texans closing out the preseason.
Okay.
Kim fired up as well. Finally here, game day. Everybody's been waiting a long time to get back in and see some Texans football. And now the Tampa Bay Buccaneers back to work on 1st down and 10 at the 37-yard line. And on 1st down, there's Taylor again, like a heat-seeking missile to Keyshawn Vaughn.
9-6 is the man. He comes darting in there.
Now, let's go back to the end of the last offensive series, Davis Mills.
Well, he's doing what we talked about earlier. You see his eyes are staying front side. He doesn't feel the pressure. You know, I just kind of like for him to be aware of what's going on around him. He's zeroing in on targets right now, and when the pass rush is doing what it's doing, man, it's not going to be static. Every single play, you got 11 individual battles going on out there, and your guy ain't going to win all of them. You got to be mindful of that.
2nd and 10 at the 37-yard line. Trask to the air once more, and the connection made with Travis Johnson. Short of the first down at the 43 as he picks up 6.
Tavier Thomas again does a nice job of closing. I always look for that proximity to the receiver in this case, or runner. When the ball gets in their hand, where are the defenders relative to the ball carrier or the receiver in this case? The Texans playing with a lot of urgency around the ball, even late into the game.
Our 1st and 10 line this quarter is brought to you by HEB. And a 3rd and 4 facing Tampa Bay with 4:55 to play in the ball game. Four-man pressure. Trask gets rid of it short, and a flag is down. Douglas was out there defending against Travis Johnson. It's going to be a penalty against the Texans.
And Rivers was also out there showing pressure on the outside as well. Derek was coming on that edge.
Prior to the pass, holding, number 34, defense. 5-yard penalty, automatic, 1st down.
Rasul Douglas flag.
Yeah, and it's tough too because that bunch formation wasn't what caused the problem. It was the push off. He tried to hold on to it, knew he was going to get spun and beat out of that immediate stop. Man, it's tough to create separate. Well, David Culley's looking now, but what he was seeing, what I saw, was a receiver that was getting ready to spin his defensive back around, man, because it was a wicked pivot he was making. And you get a little handsy in those situations.
On the 48-yard line on 1st down, Vaughn the carry, and nowhere to go. Seeing both of the new corners that the Texans picked up this week, Kadar Holman and Rasul Douglas, both out there on the field right now getting their first reps in a Texans uniform. Just trying to figure out a way to shore up any spots they can. Nick Caserio has done trades with almost, I believe, a quarter of the teams in the National Football League at this point.
Well, he's been busy, man. No one's been busier than he has been.
2nd and 8 on the toss play to Vaughn. Vaughn into Texans territory.
What a violent way to finish. You know, I just love to see it. Good football is good football. Doesn't matter who, if it's a home team or the road team. That's how you finish. Getting upfield, Vaughn showing you how to finish a run. Leverage moving forward, advancing the chains if you can, getting as many yards as possible to help extend the game, or shorten it in this case.
3rd down and 5. 3:35 remaining in the 4th. Texans trying to give the offense one last chance here by getting the stop.
Tampa Bay trying to protect the lead. Houston trying to give their offense another opportunity.
3rd and 5, 4-man rush, backside pressure. Trash pulls it down and throws this one away. Incomplete. Darden in the area, but that not close. And the Buccaneers will have to punt it away to the Houston Texans.
Shaleel Johnson was the one that forced that. He came off that edge and almost forced Trask again. Trask is mindful of who's around him now after he's dealt with this constant pressure from the Houston Texans.
Bradley Pinion will punt. Kiki QT, the deep man.
It's going to be a tough situation for Kiki to get a return in, but you know, here's a guy that has contributed to this team in the red zone, but he'd love to be able to get a return. He may get one with this double team.
Takes a good Texans hop into the end zone for the touchback with 3:10 to go in the 4th. One last chance for the Texans offense to try to draw even with Tampa Bay. We have ways for all fans to experience that football feeling throughout the season. Call us at 832-667-2390 to find out which package is the best fit for you. Single game, multi-game, group tickets, all available. Call or visit our website to find out more.
Get your tickets, man. This is going to be great.
Week 1 matchup with Jacksonville is a very interesting lid lifter for the Houston Texans. From the 20-yard line, Davis Mills to work. Mills stepping away, throws over the middle, deflected and incomplete. Texans are fortunate to keep the possession. Well, all season long, of course, you're going to be enjoying Texans football, and you're going to be enjoying it with the radio crew. Mark Vandermeer on the left, Andre Ware on the right.
How about that?
John Harris on the sidelines.
You know, Mark is taking every snap, so to speak, going all the way back to 2002, calling every snap of this Houston Texan franchise. He's one of the best in the business, and he's passionate about it. And how about the former Heisman Trophy winner, Andre Ware?
Good crew to carry you through the Texans regular season as Howell gets a good burst up the middle. And Buddy Howell down at the 29-yard line, a yard short of the first down. Grant Stewart with a tackle.
You ever seen some of those old, as we take a look at this again, inside zone read? Nice job of Buddy getting as much yard as he possibly can. Just to put a button on that last comment about Andre Ware, man. Back in the day, John Jenkins was his offensive coordinator at the University of Houston. Boy, they had the run and shoot, old Miles Davis concepts, and he threw for so many yards and was such a fixture in the landscape. Prolific player. Here's a prolific runner.
Bouncing to the outside. Buddy Howell, is Delaney finally able to catch up to him inside the Tampa 30 at the 26.
And here's a guy that, you know, you talk about that running back room. There's a flag down on the field, but you can take nothing away from the fact that this guy's right around 6 foot, 6'1", and can run, man. 218 pounds, good size. That's what makes him so attractive. David Johnson, the other.
Holding, number 16, offense. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. It's third down.
Negates a 46-yard run for Buddy Howell.
Yeah, that's where you kind of get in your guy's ear and say, hey, man, I'm trying to make this team, buddy. Nice job of reading and bouncing it to the outside, carrying it high and tight is Buddy Howell, and then understands where the defender is, punches him out. You can see again here, he gets vertical really quick, understanding where the leverage is coming from. He's got some help on the outside edge trying to block for him. And that was Chris Moore.
Please set the game clock to 2 minutes and 24 seconds, 2:24.
Saw the hold there by QT as he ran through that opening that got flagged. So now 3rd and 5 after the penalty. And there's some movement, and it's going to be a false start against the Texans.
False start, number 62, offense. 5-yard penalty, third down.
Carson Green, the rookie from Texas A&M.
Carson got a little anxious there. He saw that squeeze coming on the inside and got a little bit nosy there.
Benning Potoahi was the guy moving on the Tampa Bay side of things. Now 3rd and 10 for Houston.
I was going to let you tackle that Polynesian name, brother. Let you have that.
Been working on it all week. Third down, blitz up the middle. It's picked up. Mills throws. It's caught by the tight end. That's Brevin Jordan fighting his way for the first down to the 30-yard line.
All three key players. Obviously, there are 11 battles going on, but you have protection playing a role, a great catch, press, the quarterback staying in the pocket long enough to complete the play.
And this will take us to the 2-minute warning here in the 4th quarter. Texans trying to rally in this one and avoid their first loss of the preseason. Tampa Bay 23, Houston 16. Texans with one last shot when we return.
Well, Kevin, it's that favorite time, your favorite time of this game.
It is my favorite time.
Absolutely. It's time to announce the winner of the Mattress Firm's Rising Star. It's Nico Collins. Now go to abc13.com and enter Nico Collins for a chance to win Texans season tickets, parking, and more. Good luck. You talk about high volume. This guy's got just a handful of yards, but he got a touchdown that produced it out of it. 2 catches, 16 yards, and a touchdown. That's what I call production right there. Targeted a few times, but the score is what matters. You're going to see him early and often in contest years to come.
Yeah, good to see him back out on the field after missing last week with the muscle pull. Getting geared up for the start of the regular season 2 weeks from tomorrow. Shotgun snap to Mills, and Mills will fire in the direction of Brevin Jordan. The pass broken up. Jordan had the catch that converted the first down. He has 3 preseason catches, Spencer. All 3 have moved the chains.
Yep, it's impressive. You know, as far as the quarterback is concerned, they've got to do a good job of understanding the coverage over the top of the underneath coverage, because they've got a safety that's hanging there. And that's how you threw one of those earlier interceptions. Be mindful of the coverage over the top. 4 cross here.
And in trouble, down goes Mills back near the 21-yard line. The sack from Ladarius Hamilton. Dropping Mills as the Texans take their first timeout.
Here's a quick look at it. You can see the games